we can't even describe, and that your experience, your struggle is truly my own struggle. No matter which part of the line I am carrying, we are very, very, very connected. I mean, I think all of you know it in some ways, but you might wonder sometimes, does everybody else feel the way that we truly move and breathe as one? Does everybody else recognize that we are designed by the same hand, held together by the same force, subject to the same laws, even when we are misbehaving and kicking against the pricks?
Let's think about it while we take
Yes. Okay, because I was getting into a kind of zone there.
Yes.
All right, we'll be right back at 6:30 a.m.
A difference you can hear, a difference you can feel.
Best FM 100 on your dial. Keep listening.
Praise the Lord, praise the Lord. God is good. This is already pastor and friend, Reverend Simon Peter Jones, inviting you, my friends, to listen every Tuesday evening on Best 100 FM at 7:30 p.m. for the program, The Voice of Hope, as we extend hope to the hopeless in this dying world. God is good. Be encouraged. Hope is in the Lord.
Is this the confusion you feel when trying to work your way through medical systems in Jamaica? Try a dose of Ask Dr. Mary every Thursday at 5 to 6 p.m. Let Dr. Mary help you understand your medical problems and bring you to a calmer place.
Hey, what's up? It's your girl, Lady Lee, the Queen of the South, and I'm inviting you all to trailblaze with me on the best of the best radio station, the Best 100 FM, Mondays through Thursdays, 2 to 5 p.m. You can't afford to miss it on your airwaves. Yes, Trailblaze with Lady Lee right here, Mondays to Thursdays, 2 to 5 p.m. on the best of the best, Best 100 FM. Mwah.
Veteran Printers for all your printing needs. We specialize in calendars, flyers, brochures, and more. Call us today at 968-7506. That's 968-7506. Or visit us at 4 East Bloomsbury Road, off Haggard Park Road. Veteran Printers, your best choice in printing.
Best 100 FM is the authentic voice of Jamaica, promoting your prosperity with better vibes and better music. Let us promote your goods and services for you. Advertise with us. For more information, call our office at 876-276-8935. That's 276-8935.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minette and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Best 100 FM.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats.
Come back as Minette struggles with her headphone. Okay.
Equipment malfunction?
No.
No?
No.
I mean, me being
we always
the equipment.
blame the equipment.
Me being the equipment. Well, I was just reminding Lowell that before we go too far in today's conversations, we should say something wishing Mr. Christopher Berry a speedy recovery.
Yes.
Yes. You know, Christopher Berry is known to us, member of the Ligonier Club, as we all were, but more famously known for his leadership of the Mayberry Investments House, the group of companies. Only last week, I was applauding their decision to create an investment instrument that is way more inclusive and more on point than some of the other things that I have seen coming out of corporate Jamaica.
Yes.
And then, you know, on the weekend, but a few days ago, it seems that his Porsche had a misadventure on the highway.
When you say scar.
Well, I just want to give a clear picture.
I tell you.
But it seems that both car and man. Remember, I'm a car fan too.
Yes.
Both
Okay.
car and man are doing well. We wish him a speedy return. It does
Most
not.
definitely. Yes.
Yeah, it does not escape my attention that as the company moves to do something which I think is one of the better things they've ever done, this has arisen. And I thank God that he was spared any great injury. And I certainly believe that when at any age, when we have an experience that brings our mortality in full focus, it does make us better one way or another. So I hope he is a person of faith who can take this misadventure. And out of it, Jamaica will see many great things coming out of Mayberry Investment. I cannot resist making that connection.
Well, it's a apt one, but yes, I just want to join you in wishing Mr. Berry well a speedy recovery, even if there is no physical hurt or harm. I know that the psychological sometimes is even worse than the physical. So, Mr. Berry, we stand with you as you recover. We're happy. It could be worse. We have heard many accidents on that stretch of road. That is a highway that persons don't survive. So we are very happy
That he
your
was
life
spared. Mhm.
was spared.
Yeah. In the same breath, the police issued a list of 22 persons. Some of them, 8 of them, wanted men. The rest of them, persons of interest. And I'm just going to say now that we keep calling out the police on the job they do, and we say that they need to do better, and we question and question and question. They have published a list. Every citizen who recognize that they have a part to play in restoring law and order, please take a look at the list. If time permit, I would call out some of the names, but I am actually not sure I would get the aliases right because everybody have an alter ego.
OC.
Otherwise called. But in all
OC
seriousness,
Minetti.
also called
OC Minetti.
Well, that would be the tamer. That would be a very tame alias. But seek out the information. You're all on social media and everybody is connected. Earlier I was making the comment about how connected we are. There was a movie, what was it, 8 Degrees of Separation? It's now like 2 degrees of separation. And when you go on Facebook and other social media platforms and they show you how many friends you have in common with this one and that one, you understand that we are just neighbors. So please give the police a hand when they publish information about persons of interest and men and women who are wanted by the police for questioning. Please play your part. Look at the list, consider carefully who you know or who you know somebody that know, and give the police the assistance that they require. We are not going to have a restoration of peace or law and order in this country unless we all treat it as our personal mission and do whatever we can. Lots of us have information and we need to be bold and share it and then say your prayers and just trust that God will cover you because you have acted on the principle of truth. Truth. When you tell the truth of what you know, you can relax.
You know what a lot of people don't realize?
Yes.
That fear kills. Fear kills.
Well, it kills the desire to be
truthful. A lot of times we think that if we don't say, then we are sparing our lives. But the truth is, you're actually backing yourself into a corner. You're isolating yourself. And that's exactly what the enemy wants you to do. Because when you're quiet and when you're isolated, then they can move in for the kill without a problem. So we need to remember that. Speak, shout, do whatever you need to do.
Make a noise.
Let people hear you. Chances are someone will hear and rescue you. If you say nothing, you are ensuring that you're gonna go down, you're gonna die. And we have to be very, very aware of that. Fear kills.
Fear kills. And then when you say that, you must be prepared to speak the antidote. Perfect love casts out all fear.
Amen.
And the perfect love of which we speak, you know it. It is the perfect love of God.
Yes.
because he loves you
Not
whether you yes, he loves you whether you are broken, perfect, scarred, unsure, weak, cowardly, brave. Really doesn't matter. Loves you exactly as you are, whatever you are, and he is just so pleased with us when we move in accordance with the principles of truth. So that is my public service announcement for the morning. Please seek out the list that the police has published and add your voice to it. Give them whatever information you have or whatever you know. There are every kind of innovative ways to get in contact with the police without having to actually go into the station and look at anybody. Just tell them what you know.
By the way, did you get a sponsor for the public service announcement?
The police one?
Yeah, the
I
one
thought
that
you took care of that.
All right, you know.
Producer, that's your job. Okay. All right. I want to say something, even as I'm saying to, all of us, say what you know. There's a disturbing trend that is being made evident. And you know how trends are. They're happening even without your looking at them. It's really when you look at it historically that you see, oh, that's a trend. But those with prophetic insight, like my brother Lowell here, can see a thing even before it emerges. There is a minor headline in today's edition of The Gleaner. Ex-admin assistant says Grindley sacked her for red flagging concerns. This, of course, is the trial of the trial on allegations of fraud, improper conduct, taking place in the parish court. Mr. Floyd Grindley, who was general manager of Petrojam, and the chairman are on trial. It's a case in which we have a lot of interest. All Jamaicans have a lot of interest because we are constantly saying, when is the day of accounting for these persons who are accused of misbehavior in public office, and it seemed to be brushed under the rug. Sure, we're not happy that the really big ones are slow in coming up, but you know what? Just remember that though it may tarry, it will surely come. Day of accounting comes for all of us. So let's look at what this headline portends. Petrojam was under great fire, and I believe some of the problems which are making front page are institutional and are still there. Meaning you take out the personalities, but when you've had a way of doing things for years, people don't even realize what is happening. They just keep following it.
Yes.
But here we have Floyd Grindley being accused. The evidence is showing first that when the accountant resisted or refused to follow an instruction to disburse a check that didn't come with the necessary board approval, that man was given 5 days suspension. There is much talk about whether he was suspended for that or for some other reason, but the reality of it is he was suspended within the same time frame as his refusal to sign this check without board approval.
Yes.
Now we have an ex-admin, this is a former employee, saying what amounts to the same thing, except she was fired. In her evidence, the witness testifying at the trial of the two former executives said she had raised concerns about processing payments for unapproved travel allowances. It was the first time she had been asked to prepare a voucher that would have been in breach of the company's policy. I asked him for the approval, and I said we had to get the permanent secretary to approve the disbursement voucher, and he said no. The conversation went something like this: we do not have to get the PS's approval because we are talking about the chairman. The witness recalled Grindley reportedly saying during her evidence in chief in the parish court. She said it was the first business trip for Chairman Singh, who resided overseas, for which arrangements had been made. The refund was for $1,000, but she was just not comfortable signing the disbursement voucher. Although it was business travel for the company, we did not have the requisite approvals from the PS and the ministry. This is an admin assistant who is exhibiting the care and concern for public expenditure that we citizens are expecting to find in public offices. If you are thinking that the whole government corrupt, not so. This is a lady, she's no longer working there, but while she was there, she was asking the right questions. She said she was fired. The reason I'm making this point, not because I want to give you some of the nitty-gritty of what is happening there, it's because we are looking to embrace protected disclosures, law, policy, and make it into something that would allow the honest people among us, the honest but fearful ones, to be able to share information on wrongdoing in any, whether it's public or private. And we are seeing a clear pattern of reprisals and heavy-handedness and punishment. We're seeing it in the public sector, but it's human behavior, so I imagine it is there in the private sector also. And we need to just address our minds to how we are going to ensure that persons who find out things that we need to know and deal with can be protected, really protected when they do so. We saw Dr. Patrick Thelwell, yes, complaining that he brought matters to the attention of the chairman, and the company was addressing it, and yet he ended up being the one fired, with a principle being touted that the buck stops with the head of the organization. I'm concerned about that.
But for us, speaking about it now, it certainly dies. So the problem we face, as you have stated, is how do we encourage persons who are undergoing similar situations to come out and speak? Because fear is a real thing.
Yes.
People have seen people get killed for things like these. They have seen people fired, So the question that the person has to deal with is, what's gonna, make the difference for me, that I can say something and I still have my job and I still have my life.
Yeah, and
how do we deal with that?
Yeah, and it's one thing for you and me to say, be brave and just stick with the truth, yes, and God will protect you. But it is a real concern that as we as citizens wanting persons to take up position in public offices, so the work that benefits all of us can be done, we must lend our weight to ensuring that when they do the right thing, they are protected.
Yes, so we have to create a safe environment where people can do it anonymously.
Yes.
Yes.
At the very least, because while we are talking about crime plan and restoring peace and harmony in our communities, the people who have to bring that into being are the same ones who are working now in various positions of authority. It's us out here who might know information about what the police are investigating and need to lend support and so on. It's not happening in some far removed quarter of the island or somewhere offshore or somewhere on the internet. It's real people taking a decision to do real things. Like, something, pick up the phone and call. Yes. And if you have a legitimate concern that the person to whom the information should go is compromised, find a way to work around it. I mean, when we were talking about the Protected Disclosures Act, I kept saying that though journalists and some other persons are not on the list of individuals to whom you can give information for action to be taken, find somebody that you trust.
Yes, yes.
And then trust that person to be able to advance it closer to the goal. Now that World Cup is on, I'm just talking. I just have all kind of football similes coming into my head. You're trying to get into the goal, but you're not the closest person, or maybe even the strongest kicker.
All right.
Hand it over to somebody who can advance it.
Excellent.
Did I get that right?
Excellent. Excellent. You're doing fine.
Yeah, that's the analogy that is in my mind on, you know, how we need to approach this. If you don't think the police is a safe place to put your information, find someone whom you can trust and share the information so it can be brought closer to the right place. And I rather like the media. You know, one of the things that we should remember about the press and the freedom of the press, there are some protections that are conferred internationally on members of the press, because freedom of speech is an important pillar of democracy.
Yes, definitely.
Anywhere in the world that you shut down the free expression of people's ideas and concerns, you are heading towards anarchy. You're heading towards unrest. You're heading towards disorder. And you yourself must know that when people shut you down, repress you, you boil and overflow in some ugly ways.
So, you know, the truth is the people who really want to speak will speak no matter what. So, what we face is now to get the people who don't normally speak to come out and say something. You know,
I mean, the
that is
people
what
with the
we
real
face.
information, because sometimes
Yes.
I mean, I see people on social media, especially, and they have every kind of bombshell news, and they're ready to tell all. And when you listen to what they're saying, it is smut and garbage and gossip. But beneath it, you can tell that whatever is happening, there is someone who knows the truth. And that person might be hidden behind layers and layers. And that's the one that needs to embolden themselves and step forward. The problem of crime and violence can be solved by information gathering of the true and right sort. Some of it we know the police already have it, but information is not the same as evidence.
Yes.
For you to survive in a court of law, you need evidence. And the next step for the police is to get the evidence and to get it from credible sources. That's why they talk about their information packages. Even when you have the subject of the information package, if you don't have evidence, and we've seen it in so many of the gang trials, the organized crime, the assault against organized crime has not fared very well because they're not able to put the evidence together so that a court can be convinced.
So the question is whether or not they possess good investigative skills. Because, I mean, we have had experience where, you know, the police is given something to investigate and it dies. You hear nothing about it.
Yes, you and I, unfortunately, we have quite a few cases piling up between us. I don't think it's the investigative skill, because investigative skill, some of it is intuitive and a lot of it is learned because the methodologies have been developed, well studied, practiced, and I think it's not for want of skill. It's a different problem altogether. It's a problem of honesty and integrity, clearly, because if I, as an investigator, happen on the truth, I am going to do everything in my power to bring that truth to the light of day. But how many times have we heard policemen of high and low rank saying to us, that's above my pay grade, or talk to that one, or these are my instructions, or I'm just following orders. How many times have we heard that?
Yeah, but look at our case.
Yes, but let's not
but I'm saying it is so important that when you have the experience, I mean, it is the most powerful evidence you can use to say to persons that this is the actual situation.
Yeah. So we know from our direct experience that it's not investigative skills.
No.
They know.
They
know the truth, but they are bound by orders and they're bound by fear and they're bound by lack of integrity, because there is no one, producer man included, who can tell me to go the wrong way when I believe that the right way is somewhere over there, so. And we wouldn't even have a stalemate. It wouldn't even be like, oh, she's not gonna move because there's a disagreement. I am acting on conscience. I would not be the person I am if I could know that something ought not to be the way it is and say, well, I'm just supporting you. No, not gonna happen that way.
Yeah. Oh, it is a tricky one.
It is.
It is a tricky one. It is a tricky one. And that's the nature of people. Honesty. When will we start to just operate in an honest way? Because what him say, the same knife was the sheep stick wood.
Dinosaur.
Yeah, well, dinosaur too. But we need to understand that it can be you tomorrow. It can be you tomorrow. It can be your child. It can be some relative to you. So never think that you're immune.
But outside of just plain self-interest, meaning you do it in order to ensure that when it's your turn, someone will do it for you. Someone may never do it for you, or it may never be your turn. But there is a necessity for your own well-being, sanity, spiritual health, that you are in alignment, proper alignment with some principles of truth, justice, just righteous behavior. Those are important things in your own life that assure your health.
Yes.
So, none of us know what the final moments of another person's life really are like. You hear every kind of report, and we are endlessly curious about the moments before or as a person is taking their last death. It remains a mystery to us. But we know from every kind of account that you become concerned about how you've lived, what you should have done or didn't do. And we have seen persons exhibiting signs of torture and mental distress.
Yes.
About as they come to the closing days of their life, whether it is, through natural causes or just great trauma. Persons tell you, some say people try to confess, and some, we understand that it's not a time of peace and quiet for those who have not lived well.
Yes.
And you hear the other stories now about the joy and the contentment and the ease with which those who have lived well close their chapter in this realm.
Yes.
So I'm just saying, as early as you can, begin to align yourselves with some nobler principles than the, informer for dead, nobody did it for me, so I'm going to step on everybody to advance. Any of those kind of motivations, if you know that you're one of those persons who say, listen, when we go through it, nobody never helped me, as you would push aside and dismiss and walk hard on those who are around you, just know that the day will come when you're going to regret it. You are going to regret that you behaved in that way. So, word of warning. And that's what we do. I'd started off at the top of the show saying, just reminding persons what we do here. We speak truth. We apply the principles of the kingdom of God to ordinary everyday life. We encourage, we build up. We seek to interpret contemporary events through the principles of the kingdom. And we teach about the principles of the kingdom, understanding that the plan of God is for us to have abundant life. And in the New Testament, it says, have it more fully.
Yes.
So you have a good life, no matter how good your life is. Can you imagine? It can be better, more, it can be richer, full-bodied. It just can be a place of excitement, ease, contentment, progress, satisfaction when you live it through the principles of God.
Love your neighbor as you love yourself. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Those principles cannot fail. And I always say, that is how you grow eyes in the back of your head. Because if you treat your neighbor right, they will have your back. You know, it is a principle, the biblical principles, the kingdom principles, they don't fail. And they work whether or not you believe in God, whether or not you're a follower of Jesus Christ, they work. So let's practice it. Let's take religion out of it. Let us just look at it from a humanitarian standpoint and practice it.
And on the point of doing to your neighbor as you would have do to yourself, may I just say a very cheerful and grateful good morning to my own neighbor, Miss Susie, the baker of the most fantastic banana bread. And she introduced me to guava leaf tea. So I'm having some guava leaf tea this morning. Morning, Susie. Thank you so much for thinking of your neighbor.
Well, I hope you brought some. So let's take the break and deal with what you brought.
With the banana bread? Yeah, we're taking a break.
Okay.
A difference you can hear, a difference you can feel.
Best FM 100 on your dial. Keep listening.
If you're an entrepreneur and investor looking for a new opportunity, then you're in the right place. With our stable economy, perfect location, and connectivity, Jamaica is the perfect place to set up shop. But if you're uncertain where to look for these opportunities, then Vice President of Research, Advocacy, and Project Implementation at Jamper Shillette Cox will point you in the right direction. She recently spoke at the Invest JA conference held in Montego Bay recently. Here's an excerpt of her presentation.
In respect of agribusiness, we have a temperate climate for in-demand fruit, starches, and vegetables. We have over 120,000 hectares of arable land, ideal for orchard crops. We have in Jamaica, the only place in the Caribbean, an FDA certified accreditation program through the Jamaica National Accreditation Body. They can, on behalf of the U.S., conduct food safety audits and certify food facilities, including farms and packing houses, on behalf of the government of the U.S. And that is an achievement, because that means that our farmers and our packing houses and our agri-parks can immediately get the support that they need to go into export markets. Our coffee is world-renowned, but our cocoa is even more so. And while it's not food, I want to squeeze in our rum, which a lot of people will tell you is also a very unique, distinct taste. Jamaica also has a global brand for ethnic and specialty foods. Our national dish, ackee and saltfish, is number 2 on Nat Geo's breakfast food list. Some opportunities that exist are coffee, or castor oil, or castor beans, or mango, or avocado, and or Scotch bonnet pepper. In respect of manufacturing, there are a number of things that make Jamaica the place to solve your global supply challenges. First of all, we have access to critical industry resources from agriculture, which can feed into agro-processing and mining outputs. Now, I want to remind, mining must be sustainable in order to work in Jamaica. There is an opportunity around limestone. Jamaica has limestone of a grade that is perfect for pharmaceuticals. And of course, there's a support structure in place through public and private sector initiatives. In 2020, the Cabinet of the Government of Jamaica approved a manufacturing strategy, which is currently being implemented. Our National Industry Association, the Jamaica Manufacturers and Exporters Association, has a biennial event called Expo Jamaica, which supports finding markets for manufacturers' products overseas. Some of the opportunities there, pharmaceuticals I've mentioned, furniture, and we talked about the cosmetics. But I could not leave without also talking about the opportunities for cannabis. Our logistics space, we spoke about this when we talk about the air connectivity as well as the sea connectivity. The ways to invest include infrastructure, but also to tie into manufacturing and SEZs and warehousing and distribution. Our global digital services industry
has been one of the shining stars in our list of sectors. While the world was seeing significant downturn during COVID, Jamaica's global digital services sector and our outsourcing companies actually grew. In December 2019, we recorded 43,000 jobs. That fell, unfortunately, to 38,000 at the start of the pandemic in March 2020. Notwithstanding today, just about 2.5 years later, we stand at 55,000 employed people in our global digital services sector.
Vice President, Research, Advocacy and Project Implementation at Jampo Shillett Cox, speaking at the Invest JA conference held in Montego Bay recently. For more information about these and other opportunities, visit dobusinessja.com or call 888-INVEST-JA from Jamaica or 877-JAMVEST from overseas.
A production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.
Difference you can hear, a difference you can feel.
Best FM 100 on your dial. Keep listening.
Praise the Lord, praise the Lord. God is good. This is already Pastor and friend, Reverend Simon Peter Jones, inviting you, my friends, to listen every Tuesday evening on Best 100 FM at 7:30 p.m. for the program, The Voice of Hope, as we extend hope to the hopeless in this dying world. God is good. Be encouraged. Hope is in.
Seniors, the Ministry of Labor and Social Security is advising that the November 2022 payment under the Social Pension Program is now available for collection. Check your text messages to confirm your payment arrangements. For further information, call 876-922-8007. The Social Pension Program, caring for our elderly. A message from the Ministry of Labor and Social Security, providing opportunity, stability, and social protection.
It's the season of giving, and the SOS Children's Village is proudly celebrating 50 years in Jamaica. Yes, that's 50 strong years of relentless support to our nation's children. Do you have a heart to care for the less fortunate? Help us to continue to provide a safe home for the children. Donate to a worthy cause. Donate through our website at www.sos-jamaica.org or call us at 979-5850. That's 979-5850.
Or a better choice in all your electrical supplies. A, authorized 3M dealer and better brand names. B, better service including free island-wide delivery. C, all major credit and debit cards accepted. It's ABC Electrical Sales. Shop number 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10. Open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We make your electrical jobs as easy as ABC. Call 754-382-528 or fax 754-3659. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice.
Half a tree, 100. Bossy, how do I take taxi start?
Chano, I want to tell you, say, 2 months now, my transmission mash up, and I check everybody and can't hear nothing positive.
Yeah, hear me? Yeah, waste all that time I shop around and never call the experts. Winters Auto have them. Them have over 35 years of experience and then diagnose the problem and get back your transmission brand new. For them service excellent and efficient. Trust me, man. Yeah, hear me? Call them at 929-7040. Or go to them at 106 Maxfield Avenue, Kingston 13 and talk directly to the boss. Just tell them I'm me send you.
You big star. Yeah, man, respect my boss.
Try calling you, guys, trust me.
What a relief.
What should a taxi service do for you? On-Time Taxi Service is more than just a ride to the other side of town. They offer clean and spacious vehicles, reliable service, and promise to always look out for their customers. They'll come when you call and take you where you want to go on time.
You can call us at 926-3866. We are something special on the road.
Veteran Printers for all your printing needs. We specialize in calendars, flyers, brochures, and more. Call us today at 968-7506. That's 968-7506. Or visit us at 4 East Bloomsbury Road, off Haggard Park Road. Veteran Printers, your best choice in printing.
Best 100 FM is the authentic voice of Jamaica, promoting your prosperity with better vibes and better music. Let us promote your goods and services for you. Advertise with us. For more information, call our office at 876-276-8935. That's 276-8935.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minette and Percy, on the Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Best 100 FM.
It's good. It's better, but nothing beats.
Welcome back. Before we took the break, Lowell and I were talking about what we do and why perhaps we're doing it. The why of it requires a little bit of foundation. I don't think you've heard it from me many times, possibly. But Lowell, this will be his longest stint on the mic with us. So he can tell his own story of why he has ended up where he is, doing what he's doing and being so supportive of this mission to share the word and spread the good news and to encourage and build others in a direction that we believe is profitable. For my own part, some of my travels have been spectacularly public. The path that brought me here. But suffice it to say, I have answered a call that is as ancient as humanity itself. I believe that from in the Christian world, we say from the dominion mandate was issued that man should take control of and protect, support, steward God's creation. There is always that need for persons to step out of the population and move into a position where you can be a part of those who teach, who support and encourage, who serve. I started in the corporate world, serving in a different way, but there are many ways to serve, and I think it is our duty, all of us, to find a way to make our contribution to humanity whilst also seeing to our own personal survival. What's your journey? in your own words, what's your journey?
My journey.
I'm going somewhere with it. I'm going somewhere. Because we have a fantastic lady who's going to join us in a short while, and I'm laying the foundation before we get to her.
Yeah.
So you're part of the foundation.
As you go through life, I guess some people will get it earlier than others. You realize that life is not just about you. Life is not just how you see it. And you also realize that life is not about material things, because it is of such that when you set yourself goals, the moment you achieve one goal, then you're moving towards the next. And sometimes for those of us who are not believers, life can become empty because you set your sights on material things, you achieve them, and after that you become bored and you need to move on to the next. We watch our son as he grows, and from time to time you'll have this desire for something and he's just on it, and you give it to him, and shortly the very thing that he was craving, you'll see set aside in a corner or something, and then he's moving on to something new. And life is like that. And then you realize now that there's more to life than material things. You realize that there's more to life than the things that you care about. You know, you realize that there are so many persons around you who are suffering, people who have needs. And then in your own circumstances, you have more than you can consume. So then you say to yourself, you know, something, I need to share. You know, I need to change, you know, my environment. Look at the people around me. Because the truth is, we are all dependent on each other, whether or not we believe it. We are dependent on each other. If the garbage man don't come take up the garbage, we see what happened. As a matter of fact, we saw it, you know, in recent weeks, you know, what that brought. And so life is like that. So when we think that we can be there in our castles and doing well and everything is fine, it's not.
So you were in your castle doing well, and then what happened?
Well, I don't know about the castle part of it.
Oh, well, you forgot the question I asked you, or you're avoiding me this morning.
You know.
Anyway,
but
Lowell was engineered in training, working in a very mechanical field at one point, switched to marketing, then switched to finance and training, then switched to technology. Or maybe I shouldn't say switch. Switch the right word? Or you were just increasing your boundaries? Because in truth, none of the earlier preoccupations really left you. You have kept working in the various areas that, as you demonstrated excellence, and like our son that you talk about now that I'm listening to myself, you begin to embrace new things and new things. Your arms got full, and then here we are. Did you put something down? Was it ripped out of your grasp? How have you ended up on this side of the microphone? Not because Pastor took a week off.
That's a good question. That is a very good question. And it is about just wanting to serve, you know, just by chance. I mean, we have been in telecoms for quite some time. Here it is. You remember we were called to work with the leaders.
Yes, the church leaders.
The church leaders.
Yes.
And in doing so, here we are. We were introduced to Best FM, to Tony.
Mm-hmm.
And out of that came the opportunity to have this program, you know, because of your particular skills and so on. And I guess...
And then Pastor wanted a week off?
That's how it happened. Yes. And Pastor was among the leaders that we were...
Yes, yeah.
we were working with.
Morning, Pastor.
Yes.
Hope you are listening, though you should be working hard.
And of course, I've been very happy behind the mic just doing the technical things because, you know, these are the things I love to do. And then Pastor decided no to go take a break and go do all the weird. And here I am in front of the mic. Not the place that I like to be, but certainly I do enjoy interacting with people. As a matter of fact, I remember I exited the engineering field because I just want to interact with people. You know, I find that very fulfilling. I love to speak to people. I love to listen. I love to help solve problems. I love to share, you know, people. I just love people.
All right. So now, that's the foundation I was seeking to lay because, as you know, God loves people too.
Yes.
And one of the plan that, well, nothing with him changes, but one plan that we see in prime position in the architecture of his design is the building of people.
Yes.
And, you know, as things have evolved in the history of humanity, he got to the point where he says, all right, you abide in me, I will abide in you, and you become the temple. And the glorious temple of Jerusalem that was made such great wealth, every kind of careful design, was replaced by man himself, heart of man. Sent his son, the reincarnated son, sent the spirit to inhabit the souls of men so that men can now cleave to him, be bonded with him, and become the walking, talking, speaking church of God. That's my summary of it.
Yes.
I've put it that way because in the book of Haggai, which is where we are now. Now remember, we went through Jeremiah and Ezekiel and the prophets who were speaking during the time of exile. And we've been speaking about the diaspora because really Jamaica, what I love about prophecy and the work of all the major and minor prophets is that it speaks for all time. So any age in which you are living, you can step into one of those prophetic works and find the situation that speaks directly to where your country is, where your life is, where your family is. So Jamaica is the perfect proxy or the perfect template for what was done with the Israelites. Come out of slavery, building your own society, seeking to define yourself as a nation, going through every kind of upheaval, social, economic, agricultural, every type of upheaval. You name it, we have experienced it. Right now, crime and violence is the big enemy because we've just not been able to tame it. And we are looking at why and how. Visit the book of Haggai when you get a chance and look at the 4 first prophecies that came out of Haggai's recording of what God was saying to the people of the time and how change was accomplished. These are the things of the day. There was financial insecurity. God spoke of it. Personal dissatisfaction. You eat, you're not full. You put on clothes, you're not warm. There was food insecurity. You plant and what you reap is not what you expected. In fact, I'm paraphrasing and unnecessarily so. The first question that God posed through the prophet Haggai in chapter 1, verse 4 is this: is it a time for you yourselves to be living in your paneled houses while this house remains a ruin? He poses that question.
Yes.
Asking mankind, we who have scaled the tops of every technological innovation, we are now getting ready to rewrite human DNA. When you look on the television and see the different cultures of the world on display. Listen, if you just watch World Cup 2022 and see the splendor of Qatar and all that is now available in the world. We are living in more than, we're in palaces now. We're driving chariots that, they're on the road, but they're really flying, while this house remains a ruin. And the house, as I've laid the foundation before, the house is man, the people of the world who are the temple of God collectively. God's house is in ruins. Many are starving. Many are sick. Many are living on the fringe, just clinging to hope in a world that is well populated with every type of opulence and excess that you can imagine. When you see garments that people spend hours making that have precious stones, crystals, we are doing some over-the-top things. Well, even the very phone I have in my hand, the cost of an iPhone these days can feed a family in some countries for months. You pay $1,100, $1,500 for one phone. This is US dollars now. That money can go a far way in some communities somewhere in the world. So we are living well while the house of God remains a ruin. And he challenged mankind to do this. He said, give careful thought to your ways. You have planted much, but harvested little. How many times have we seen that? You eat, but never have enough. You drink, but never have your fill. So even there are wealthy people who are so dissatisfied, constantly seeking. You put on clothes, but you are not warm. You earn wages only to put them in a purse with holes in it. Why do you think the banking sector is doing so well? Every type of consumer loan is available to do things. Debt, credit cards, personal loans. It's overwhelming. This is what the Lord Almighty says. Give careful thought to your ways. And he says, go up into the mountains and bring down timber and build my house so that I may take pleasure in it and be honored. You expected much, but see, it turned out to be little. What you brought home, I blew away, declares the Lord Almighty, because of my house, which remains a ruin, while each of you is busy with your own house. So the self-involvement that we see with so many persons, everything we're doing is selfish. We just want to make sure that we have ours, we and our own are taken care of. We're not looking outside to see that the temple of God, the people of God, and for him, we're all one. Do you think he look at us and say, oh, well, this part is pretty and good, so I'm content. This part work hard and is... No, I must have a care for you, so we move as one. The weakest link. He looks at the weakest link and measures what we're doing based on how we are taking care of the vulnerable and those among us who need to be loved. Well, because of you, the heavens have withheld their dew and the earth its crops. Nature will reject us, no matter what it is we think we're doing and how skilled we are at tilling the soil and trying to draw from it. It will not deliver its benefits to us while we are being selfish and disobedient. I called for a drought on the fields and the mountains, on the grain, the new wine, the olive oil, and everything else the ground produces, on people and livestock, and on all the labor of your hands. When nature is withholding its bounty from us and we begin to react with crime and violence because we are not getting enough, those who should give to us are withholding, we become angry, we become more selfish in our own motivations. You see what comes of it. Your turn.
Yes. No, I'm listening to you quite keenly. The truth is, we are selfish. We're selfish by nature, unfortunately. The truth is, you cannot receive unless you give. That's a fact.
Or what you receive won't stay.
You cannot receive unless you give. The truth is, if we just stick to the basic principles, if we just look out for each other, a lot of the problems will be solved. Oftentimes we get into situation because of what we will get from it. You know, I really look forward to the interview that we will have later on, because this lady, she said to me when we were talking yesterday, she said, listen, this is not about me. I've been doing this for a long time. It is not about me. In other words, she left the country, went abroad, did what she needed to do for herself, and having accomplished her goals, she now set out to give back.
To serve. Let me speak her name because you haven't mentioned it. This is Dr. Rose Adamson Lewis.
Yes.
Daughter of the soil, she's in Florida.
Yes,
but has been elsewhere in the United States, very accomplished, a child of the diaspora, and you know that there is great prophecy that speaks to what the diaspora will do. But she has answered the call to build the house. And this is really why I'm going through this prophecy with our listeners. I always like to locate whatever it is we're doing within the prophecy and within scripture, so you can see that when persons are on a path that is in alignment with the word of God, you can understand why they are successful, and you can associate yourself with what they're doing, and you can find your own path by just looking to see where does scripture cover what I want to do or what I am doing. The prophecy didn't stop there, because we've been talking about climate change and it's global warming, then it's just climate change, and we are studying and studying, trying to show ourselves approved, but not necessarily studying from the right section of the book. This is what the Lord Almighty says. In a little while, I will once more. Once more, he has done it before. I will once more shake the heavens and the earth, the sea and the dry land. I will shake all nations, and what is desired by all nations will come, and I will fill this house with glory, says the Lord Almighty. The silver is mine, and the gold is mine, declares the Lord. The glory of this present house will be greater than the glory of the former house, and in this place I will grant peace. Now, when you read prophecy like that, first you are shaken because you know that before the granting of peace, there will be a shaking of the nations. You see Russia and Ukraine and all of Europe is going to be shaken some more with what is happening. War in a nation of any significance has ripple effects across the world. Jamaica has felt it. All nations will be shaken, and our desire is going to emerge and it will be granted, because we get to that point. I was speaking of what happens in those final moments when you know you're going to die or you see the end is upon you. Your thoughts get clarified and you begin to understand what is important, and your desire is going to emerge and it will be granted, and with it will come peace. All right. Before we speak with Dr. Lewis, which we're gonna do after the 7:30 break.
No, at
What
8
time
o'clock.
we're gonna
After
do
the
at 8 o'clock?
break.
Well, when we return from this break, because it's now 7:30, we will tell you a little bit about her and why it is that why it is I have laid such a foundation for the conversation we're going to have. A child of the diaspora answering the call to build the house.
The difference you can hear, the difference you can feel.
Best FM 100 on your dial. Keep listening.
Seniors, the Ministry of Labor and Social Security is advising that the November 2022 payment under the Social Pension Program is now available for collection. Check your text messages to confirm your payment arrangements. For further information, call 876-922-8007. The Social Pension Program, caring for our elderly. A message from the Ministry of Labor and Social Security, providing opportunity, stability, and social protection.
For a better choice in all your electrical supplies, A, authorized 3M dealer and better brand names. B, better service including free island-wide delivery. C, all major credit and debit cards accepted. It's ABC Electrical Sales. Shop number 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10. Open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We make your electrical jobs as easy as ABC. Call 754-382-528 or fax 754-3659. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice.
What should a taxi service do for you? On-time taxi service is more than just a ride to the other side of town. They offer clean and spacious vehicles, reliable service, and promise to always look out for their customers. They'll come when you call and take you where you want to go on time.
From anywhere at all. You can call us at 926-3866. We are something special on the road.
One and drive. Take taxi start.
John, I want to tell you, say, 2 months now, my transmission mash up, and I check everybody and can't hear nothing positive.
Yeah, hear me? Yeah, waste all that time I shop around and never call the experts. Winters Auto have them. Them have over 35 years of experience and then diagnose your problem and get back your transmission brand new. For them service excellent and efficient. Trust me, man. Yeah, hear me? Call them at 929-7040. Or go to them at 106 Maxfield Avenue, Kingston 13 and talk directly to the boss. Just tell them I'm me send you.
You big star. Yeah, man, respect my boss.
Trust me.
What a relief.
Best 100 FM is the authentic voice of Jamaica. Promoting Promoting your prosperity with better vibes and better music. Let us promote your goods and services for you. Advertise with us. For more information, call our office at 876-276-8935. That's 276-8935.
Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minette and Percy, on the Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Best 100 FM.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats.
Okay, welcome back. Yes, this minute your headphone giving her problems. Oh, never mind.
Fix it for me, please. Welcome back. Now you see all the many talents that the producer has. Something has gone wrong with my
the
headphones
ability
this morning.
to fix a headphone. Oh,
While it is
great
being
talent.
worn, it's a
Man,
major
wow.
talent. I couldn't do it myself. All right, so the prophet Haggai is he's regarded as one of the minor prophets, not because his work was less important, but because the body of work attributed to him is not as voluminous as what you get from your Jeremiah and your Ezekiel and beloved Isaiah. But you've seen that his work, I would say, even in terms of its currency and how relatable it is in today's world, is significant because he has emphasized what is it, World Bank? What World Bank was just announcing 2021 in their Wealth of Nations report, that the investment that will make a difference for the future for all countries now is investment in human capital. Do you remember?
Yes.
So for the next round of great forward thrust, we need to be investing in healthcare, in social infrastructure for the growth and development of people, in education, just building human potential and creating a framework for man to live well and to build families. Back to basic principles is really what that amounts to. And here is a lady who has done, well, the first thing she did was build her business. And now we will speak with her in a short while just to understand some of what the children of the diaspora are doing in fulfillment of the prophecy. You know, I love to talk about Ezekiel chapter 11. So I'm just going to remind you of what the prophet Ezekiel said about the children of the diaspora and why, when we involve them in our affairs, we have to be careful even how we involve them, because it's not for play. They're not there to fatten our coffers with remittance money and give us foreign exchange. Their involvement is of a more spiritual and a different order. So when we engage with them, we should be bring ourselves in alignment in terms of what God is doing, or what he has said in his word. This is what the sovereign Lord says in Ezekiel 11, verse 16. Although I sent them far away among the nations and scattered them among the countries, yet for a little while I have been a sanctuary for them in the countries where they have gone. Those in that sanctuary did well. Therefore, say, this is what the sovereign Lord says. I will gather you from the nations and bring you back from the countries where you have been scattered, and I will give you back the land. They will return to it and remove all its vile images and detestable idols. This is back to building the church. Because when the church falls apart, idolatry comes in. We begin to be more focused on technology, on money, on our personal growth and development, and we forget what it is to be the temple of God. Here, the children of our own diaspora have a role to play in bringing us back. I will give them an undivided heart and put a new spirit in them. I will remove from them their heart of stone and give them a heart of flesh. we've been talking that for a while, and guess what? A brother in the diaspora listened to the program, contacted the producer, and says there is a Jamaican who is doing some marvelous things. She's been quietly working in the background, doing exactly what this prophecy portends. And I think you should speak with her. And yesterday, Lowell spoke to her.
Yeah, a wonderful lady. You know, just a great discussion. A great discussion. A lot of us don't realize that there are people out there who are doing great things for this country. We don't hear about them. They are not advertising. They are not doing anything. And she, like everybody else, have challenges. Of course, she has been doing a lot of work in, you know, in the medical field and so on. And she too has had her own challenges as far as getting things in the island is concerned. You bring things for a hospital, you know, and she'll speak about her own
Yes,
challenges.
because we're not
But I'm
trying
just
to.
saying, in
Yeah,
general
we just
terms,
want you
what I'm
to.
saying here has nothing
Yes.
to do with what she has said to me.
Yeah.
It's just knowing what others have experienced. And I'm saying we are at a point where we need to clear the way for these people so they can give to our country, and that the poor and the needy of this country can get that which is there for them to get.
All right. So let's tell you a little bit about her professional accomplishments, because no doubt, being a woman of modesty, she isn't going to emphasize that. And it is a lot. So we're going to use some of the time before she comes online to give you an idea of what she's been doing. Her name is Rosemary Adamson Lewis. She's a doctor of nursing practice. Not often you hear a doctor of nursing. But she has a doctorate in nursing. She's a board certified family nurse practitioner, and she specializes in psychiatric disorders and mental health. She's also an associate professor of pathophysiology, and she's the owner and founder of Total Healthcare Services and Wellness. She has a nonprofit organization as well called Rose's Garden of Hope Foundation. She's a daughter of Jamaica from humble beginnings, having worked hard to accomplish certain goals and dreams, and she is passionate about giving back to Jamaica and finding real ways to be of assistance to Jamaicans. She seeks to create opportunities in healthcare, education, youth advocacy, and she is seeking now in the USA, she's seeking to represent the Southeast USA on the diaspora committee or organization that you're all familiar with, Jamaica's effort to build stronger bridges with the diaspora. She's now seeking to serve at a higher level as a child of the diaspora. She's been participating in Diaspora Days of Service program for the past 17 years. And she's done quite a few projects in the Manchester area. They've adopted Robbins Hall Health Center in Manchester. That's just one of the things she has done. She's an active member of the board of Caribbean Anti-Trafficking Committee, and she's a board and partner in the Partners for Youth Foundation. Obviously, this is a lady whose heart has grown to include not just those close to her where she's living now, but those back home here in Jamaica. And she has extended her reach even to the UK, Europe, and throughout the rest of the Caribbean. Quite recently, she received the Joseph R. Biden Award, Life Achievement Award, and she continues to serve in various voluntary organizations and community-based organizations. This is Dr. Rosemary Lewis. Adamson is her maiden name, and I made sure to call her maiden name so anybody who's connected to her and listening can recognize that this is the lady who will speak to us this morning. You know what I love about it? She's not speaking to us to promote anything or to even gain support for anything. This is for your encouragement, your edification, just to inspire you to keep doing what you're doing, and to recognize that there is a significant role for the people of the diaspora to play. And it's a very spiritual role. It's not just, putting money in our pockets. Though when they do that, that's clearly a blessing because, the Bible does say that money can answer all things.
And the amazing thing about this lady is that she's spending her life giving back to Jamaica. Everything she does is about giving back to this country.
Tell me why that amazes you so much.
No, because you see, there are so many persons who just leave. They think crime and violence in Jamaica, it is no good. Let me just stay over here where it's safe. And they just turn their backs. There are some persons who are frustrated because of the system or the lack of systems in Jamaica, and they just don't bother. This is a lady who's, she continued to stick with it regardless of the challenges. And I know she's not alone. I mean, there are many others who are doing the same thing, but we are speaking to her today.
Yes.
And so I am impressed by things like that.
I'm impressed, but I'm not surprised.
Okay.
And I say that because all of us.
Not that I'm surprised.
Yeah. Okay. All of us have the desire to identify purpose and to be true to it, because therein lies the path to some kind of contentment and fulfillment in how we spend our time. So it is not. How do I put it? It is certainly a thing to celebrate for every person who manages to find their way to that sweet spot.
Mm-hmm.
And as you say, there are a lot more people doing it than we think. And they're doing it at high and low levels. There are people at the community level. I know Pastor is always saying when he goes to a funeral of an old person and he sees people from all generation coming in to pay tribute.
Yes.
He recognized just by the spread of years that this person has had impact. And a lot of times these are just community people. We were talking to someone one day and he said we went into some community down in St. Elizabeth and to visit a lady who has a shop there, and he observed her lunchtime as the kids were coming by and she was busy just handing out lunch money.
Yes, I remember that.
Right. This is just another person in the walk of life who realized that it's a blessing to ensure that children have a good lunch.
Yes.
So there are many of us, many Jamaicans, ordinary folks by any measurement, who are finding a way to be the support and to give that contribution. We celebrate you, we applaud you. We may never be able to speak to all of you, but you are doing it in partnership with many other nameless salt and light of the earth people. And it matters because the commandment holds true that we have an obligation to build people, not to build road and environment. When we build a road, it's so the people can have a better experience. And so to every government minister, agency, or wherever you are that play a role in making sure that certain public goods and services are distributed, you are doing it so that people can have a better life and experience. You're not doing it in a vacuum. In fact,
exactly.
you're not doing it so that Mr. Big Man can move his goods down here. You're doing it so that food can get to people. At the end of the day, all of it is about building people. It's not an end in itself. It's a means to an end. And if what you're doing is not connecting with the life and the well-being of the people who are on the road to it, at the end of it, at the beginning of it, then you have missed the point altogether.
And I want to encourage the government, please make it easier for these people to give. Don't frustrate them. We understand that we have some among us who are unscrupulous. They try to use the same channels in order to conduct their illegal activities. But I'm saying let's deal with those few, because there are very few. Let's find a way to deal with them. But let's not shut down the thing or make it difficult for the people who mean good. Please, please, come on. We can't allow the few to make the majority suffer. And that is what we have been doing.
Yeah. Well, I want to spend a few minutes with you just talking through some of what we are seeing in today's headlines.
Yes.
Headlines. There's a Westmoreland top cop who is on the front page asking for tougher bail terms on repeat offenders. Do you remember one of our callers asking about separation of powers?
Yes.
And so we've had several conversations over the year about how the executive arm or how the judiciary functions and who has responsibility for what.
Right.
From time to time, you hear the director of public prosecutions or the judge, because I know Chief Justice Brian Sykes has been quoted many times for saying that the prosecution or the police are bringing matters before the court and not bringing the evidence of the quality or the order that can secure a conviction. And so judges are constrained, if not constrained, judges are applying the law, in no doubt properly, and the result of it is not pleasing to either the population sometimes or even to some victim survivors, because we have two headlines today that I want us to touch on. The police says too many accused persons are out on bail, persons who have been charged with shooting and murders. They have multiple charges of the same nature, yet they're out on bail. And this policeman is urging the parish judge to exercise greater discretion when granting bail to accused murderers. So the police is blaming the judiciary for upsurge in crime, basically, because they are making a connection with these persons who are on bail and continue the criminal activity in the various communities. Let's hear it.
I want to ask you a question.
Yes.
Aren't they out on bail because the prosecution, they have not been able to prove to the judge that these people pose a threat to the public,
such that they should be denied bail?
Denied bail.
Yes, sir.
So then,
when we do these things, and see, it has made the front page too. I remember yesterday somebody saying something should never have even made the news. When a policeman draws attention, is one parish judge in his area in Westmoreland.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they may have several judges, but you know who the judges are. It's easy to identify the judges.
Yes.
When a policeman makes a statement that the judge is careless in granting bail, and because the judge is careless, criminals are on the street creating mayhem, what does that do to the rule of law?
Yeah, well, he should switch places with the judge. Seeing that it's like he's saying that he can do a better job. So why you don't switch places with the judge?
I mean, Superintendent Wayne Josephs, Senior Superintendent Wayne Josephs, you are wrong to make such a statement in a time like this. You are wrong. You cannot draw attention to a judge in that way and criticize the judge publicly, calling the judge indiscreet, lacking in discretion when you grant bail. Bail is a right,
Imagine that.
They forget, bail is a right. You only disturb that right. You're innocent until proven guilty.
And clearly, you didn't do a good job in bringing the evidence, which is why the judge had to put the people back out there. So what are you talking about? You need to go there and do your job properly.
They do it all the time. You see the police coming out and either attacking the citizens or attacking the court. And you see now in Parliament, with the Bail Act and the posturing of the executive arm, it's now as if bail is not a right. Bail is a privilege, and people must prove themselves worthy to get it. They are forgetting that bail is a right.
But how often do we see them go out there and just cripple people and throw them in jail? Have no evidence.
Yeah, because
And just as the well, I think the
because they
security
think you
minister
must
did say it.
they
You
think
lock them up and then you go find the evidence.
evidence.
What kind of thing is that?
Oh, jeez.
This is what we call justice.
And then let's see now what else he's saying here. While we know that the judges have independence, and I don't want to interfere with that independence, we are appealing that when they are giving bail, they consider all the facts. So now judges are not considering all the facts.
No.
Consider the victims and relatives who are still living in the same space. Please, police, Mr. Policeman, do not make it open season on judges. Because yesterday, the relatives of a young man who was killed was stabbed in school.
Yes.
They were expressing their great disappointment that the convicted killer only got 5 years. So now you're going to hear another. We cannot begin to attack our own body in order to solve a problem of our own creation. And you know that is a kind of a human knee-jerk reaction to start pointing fingers, blame. It's no, the police, we did our work, it's the judge. And the judge is saying, no, the prosecution. And the prosecution is saying, the police didn't bring me. Yeah. And it's one of the reasons, why I know that the solution for the challenges we're having, they don't reside in more law, stiffer sentencing, tougher police. That's not where it is, because the heart of man cannot be governed through this legalistic, punitive approach. God himself set the pattern. He showed us, he laid down laws, and he told us, even as he was doing it, that the law brings death and the spirit brings life. So no matter how much you work the law to bring about life, it can't happen. You cannot plant potatoes and want to reap yams. So if you're focusing on being punitive and oppressive and creating more laws and trying to get man to behave right by giving it more laws, it will fail. It failed before, it will fail again, and it will always fail. Spirit brings life.
Yes, definitely. All right.
People saying him should have get more sentence. I just hope. You know that I have a brother who was killed in a violent. Christmas is always a difficult time because he died on Christmas Eve. He tried to part a fight. He had just finished his training at VTDI.
Yeah.
Yes. And had gone home for Christmas. I was supposed to travel down on Christmas morning, and Christmas Eve I get the phone call. He went to a little community thing in Barbridge. You don't expect, oh wow. He went to a dance in Barbridge. One of our cousins was in a fight, a woman, some man was beating her, and he went to part them, and the man who was beating her, brother came along, saw my brother trying to bring peace, misunderstood what was going on, and stabbed my brother with an ice pick.
Yes.
And he died there by the side of the road, nobody wanting to put him in their motor vehicle to take him to Spalding Hospital. Probably would have died anyway, but the lack of support and response. And he was in this is a neighborhood dance. People knew him, people knew who he was. And I'm told one man, now dead, said him no want nobody bleed up him car. When I went home and saw the shirt he was wearing, you had to search to find the little pinprick of blood that was on it. It was he died from internal bleeding. His lung had been punctured. Dead within half an hour. I know what it is to want vengeance. I watched my mom shrink down. I went home and my mother had lost, let me tell you, for all the fat people who want to lose weight, grief will burn fat in a heartbeat. you don't want to lose weight like that. So, do your diet and exercise, be patient. But I know what it is to have that desire. I was a young law student at the time. No, I was a young lawyer. I'd started practicing law first year, and I was the one who had to coach my mom. Everybody think Minette a lawyer, so she will go and follow this to the nitty-gritty. I was the one who had to say, vengeance, that is not our portion. We have no interest in following up and trying to get justice because he will never come back. There's nothing a court of law will do that's going to bring him back. So those victims of crime and persons who are looking on and waiting for some sense of satisfaction, there's no sentence that is going to ease your pain or your burden, whether it is high or it low. And we've got to begin to teach people on how you begin that process of healing. My brother's death brought about an outpouring of love and a tightening of the bonds in our family like nothing else could.
Yes.
Let's take our break. It's 8 a.m. When we come back, we're going to start with calling this wonderful lady that we've been talking of. And you'll get a chance to just hear her experience in her own words. So please bear with us. We're going to borrow like maybe 15 minutes of your time just to have her talk to us, and then we'll open the lines.
A difference you can hear, a difference you can feel.
Best FM 100 on your dial. Keep listening.
BBC News. Hello, this is Jerry Smith. Indonesia's parliament has approved sweeping and controversial changes to the country's criminal code that ban sex outside marriage and restrict free speech. Unmarried couples who have sex face up to a year in prison. More details from Jonathan Head.
It covers a lot of areas. The one that everyone's focusing on is this criminalising of extramarital sex and cohabiting outside marriage as well. That is now a crime, and it does affect everyone. But it has been amended whereby prosecution can only be initiated if a complaint comes from either a child, a spouse, or a parent. There are many other concerns, though. There are concerns about free speech. Insulting the president's now a crime. There are much tougher punishments for blasphemy now, for going against prescribed religious orthodoxy, and for apostasy. It's the first time Indonesia's had this crime whereby you could be jailed for persuading somebody to abandon their religion.
China's leader Xi Jinping has praised his predecessor Jiang Zemin, who died last week, for having the courage to make bold decisions at critical moments. At a memorial service, the president said Mr. Jiang had been in charge when the country faced political difficulties both at home and abroad. From Beijing, here's Stephen McDonnell.
Although it was broadcast live on television here, there haven't been any parts of these ceremonies allowing the general public to participate. So in the past, for certainly important leaders, you've been able to file past the coffin, for example, or a way for people to gather and remember the leader who has just died. Well, the feeling is that because of the recent protests, because in the past such gatherings, such public acts of mourning have actually turned into protests, that this has been rather deliberate.
The broadcaster Al Jazeera has filed a case against Israeli forces at the International Criminal Court over the killing of its correspondent, Shireen Abu Akleh. The Palestinian-American journalist was shot in the occupied West Bank earlier this year. Tom Bateman has this report from Jerusalem.
Al Jazeera's lawyers were joined by Shireen Abu Akleh's relatives in The Hague. The network says it submitted a file of evidence proving Israeli forces deliberately killed the journalist, who was shot dead during an Israeli search and arrest raid in the occupied West Bank in May. The Qatar-based network claims her killing was part of a wider campaign to target and silence Al Jazeera. Its lawyers called on the court to identify the soldiers involved. Israeli officials reject the basis of the legal attempts.
Tom Bateman. The Prime Minister, Yair Lapid, has ruled out any external probe. He said Israel would not be preached to about morals and warfare.
Excellent.
World News from the BBC. A group of Australian members of Parliament have arrived in Taiwan for a 5-day visit. They're the latest foreign politicians to travel to the island, despite warnings from China not to do so. Beijing considers Taiwan part of its own territory and tries to prevent official ties between the island and other countries. Polls have opened in the U.S. state of Georgia, where a Senate runoff election is taking place. Voters are choosing between the Democrat, Raphael Warnock, and the Republican challenger, Herschel Walker. Neither candidate won enough votes in last month's midterms to secure victory. Gary O'Donoghue is in Washington.
It's still too close to call, but whatever happens today, the Democrats will retain control of the Senate. As in any 50-50 vote, Joe Biden's vice president can break a tie. But that one extra seat would make it easier for them to get legislative business out of committees and onto the Senate floor. And it would give the president some leeway with the more conservative-minded Democrats who have been able to hold up legislation in the past 2 years.
More than 80 members of kidnapping gangs in Niger have handed over their weapons as part of an amnesty offered by the government. It happened in the southwestern region of Tawa, from where armed gangs also cross the border into Nigeria. The president of Niger, Mohamed Bazoum, has promised to tackle the rampant insecurity. The mother of a Japanese television star who took her own life is suing 3 television companies that she claims pushed her daughter towards suicide. Hana Kimura killed herself 2 years ago after appearing in a reality show called Terrace House. The mother says the TV firms involved in the program manipulated broadcasts that resulted in her daughter receiving streams of online abuse. BBC News.
Difference you can hear, a difference you can feel.
Best FM, keep listening.
For a better choice in all your electrical supplies, A, authorized 3M dealer and better brand names. B, better service including free island-wide delivery. C, all major credit and debit cards accepted. It's ABC Electrical Sales. Shop number 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10. Open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We make your electrical jobs as easy as ABC. Call 754-3825-8 or fax 754-3659. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice.
Praise the Lord, praise the Lord. God is good. This is a radio pastor and friend, Reverend Simon Peter Jones, inviting you, my friends, to listen every Tuesday evening on Best 100 FM at 7:30 p.m. for the program, The Voice of Hope, as we extend hope to the hopeless in this dying world. God is good. Be encouraged. Hope is in the Lord.
Hey, what's up? It's your girl, Lady Lee, the Queen of the South, and I'm inviting you all to trailblaze with me on the best of the best radio station, the Best 100 FM, Mondays through Thursdays, 2 to 5 p.m. You can't afford to miss it on your airwaves. Yes, Trailblaze with Lady Lee right here, Mondays to Thursdays, 2 to 5 p.m. on the best of the best, Best 100 FM. Mwah.
Ready. Is this the confusion you feel when trying to work your way through medical systems in Jamaica? Try a dose of Ask Dr. Mary every Thursday at 5 to 6 p.m. Let Dr. Mary help you understand your medical problems and bring you to a calmer place.
Best 100 FM is the authentic voice of Jamaica, promoting your prosperity with better vibes and better music. Let us promote your goods and services for you. Advertise with us. For more information, call our office at 876-276-8935. That's 276-8935.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minette and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Best 100 FM.
It's good. It's better, but nothing beats.
Welcome back to the Morning Connection. Your hosts, Minette and Lowell Lawrence. Never thought I'd say that.
That sounded a little strange.
And online with us, our guest, whom we've been talking it up all morning, ready to introduce Doctor of Nursing, Rosemary Lewis, to our audience. Welcome, Dr. Lewis.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Do you know, how long have you been living away from Jamaica?
It's actually 40 years, but the thing is, I have migrated from Jamaica 40 years, but I have never left Jamaica.
You know,
Jamaica in your heart.
I'm tempted to say that you left Jamaica before you were born.
That's
When I look at the pictures. Yes.
She left in her
Oh
mother.
my God. Oh my
Traveled in your mother. So, well, let's start with the Jamaica that you have never left. Where in Jamaica did you hail from?
I hail from the cool parish of Manchester.
Well, I
a
tell you.
little district.
Yes.
Yes. A little district named Malton, Robbins Hall, near Colville, Christiana, Devon, Shudley, in that vicinity.
Okay, that's actually close to my neck of the woods.
Clarendon?
St. Anne.
Oh, yes. Yeah, we're neighbors.
All right, good. Because Lorimer's and Wild Cane, and then you get a little bit further down the hill and you're in Mount Moriah, which is where I'm from. So we're country girls together immediately.
Oh, yes. A proud country girl.
All you need to do now is tell me you're left-handed and then we'd be twins.
That's the gift I never got, because you know that's a special gift now with the brain.
Yes, well, you're just the one to talk about the brain with us because you are in the medical field. What have you been doing?
I started out as an LPN, a licensed practical nurse. Then I moved myself up to a registered nurse, associate degree, after which I did my bachelor's and moved on to my master's. I did 2 masters, one in nursing and one in education. And that could not contain me. Also did a master's in family nurse practitioner and then specialized in mental health and psychiatric disorder. And I have completed my doctoral degree at the infamous University of Miami. Great school. And in that process, I worked up to my professorship from an assistant professor to now an associate professor of pathophysiology and pharmacology. So I came up, I came up the ladder, so I know what it is to move from one stage to the next.
From a licensed practical nurse, I mean, the only thing you left out was nurse's aid.
I tried some of it, but I was not the bedside person. I was more into education.
Yeah, so you've worked at every level, really, in your field.
At every level.
Excelled at
every
it
level.
and moved up. For your why did your family leave Jamaica?
I left Jamaica because I was looking for greener pastures. And I also left Jamaica because I wanted to help my family. I wanted a better life for them.
So it seems as if you left as a young adult.
Yes. Then if I tell you how long I've left Jamaica, they'll tell you when I left. You're going to calculate my age, but it's okay.
Well, let me tell you, that could only be a blessing because, as Lowell said, the pictures that we are seeing. So your decision to leave was really not prompted by external circumstances. You left really to fulfill dreams that you had of a more personal and family-based nature.
Yes.
Did you live alone?
I left. This is how it went.
Yes.
I left Jamaica before I was 21. I remember 21 is the age of adulthood then.
Yeah.
In the United States, then it was 18, but in Jamaica it was 21. So the same year that I decided to leave Jamaica, I had actually left before, because I was always born a leader, always see things as not being dictatorial, but taking charge of situations. So I took charge of the 4-H club. And I was a junior leader, then the senior leader. And in that interim, the opportunity came
to travel,
where I needed
to travel. Did you have an opportunity to travel through 4-H?
to represent Jamaica in the St. Croix, the U.S. Virgin Islands, St. John, St. Thomas, and St. Croix.
One of my favorite places.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. So I had my passport on me. I prepared my passport. I didn't know how I had the knowledge to do that, but I had my passport. And so that was mixed with, similar to the school challenge quiz. And I won for Manchester. And I remember, God bless his name, Patrick Hoshing, he won for Kingston. So both of us were chosen then to represent St. Croix, because there was an inaugural service for the president of the first university over there. So that's how I got the opportunity to go to St. Croix using the U.S. visa. But I did come back to Jamaica, because I was teaching then as a pre-trained teacher. And so when I got back to Jamaica, I taught for a year and decided, from what I have seen, I realized that life was a little bit easier. So I took the challenge that I was coming to the United States to take care of my family. So when I got here, someone told me that I could have converted my visa into student visa, and then I would do law, because law is what I really wanted to do. But the circumstance presented itself. But when I got through, when I did the LSAT and passed it very high, we had just bought our second home. And so I was told that I could only work 17 hours per week, and I could not do that to my family, because my family is always first. So I decided, I decided to go to medical.
I noticed you were saying I, and then suddenly you said we. So somewhere between arriving in the U.S., you got married, or did you leave Jamaica married?
Yes. No, we got married here in the U.S. We knew each other from Jamaica. But the Dolly House started here.
Okay, Dolly House still exists. Did you find what you were looking for? Because I'm just intuiting from your opening comments that you did not see a good life that could look after you and family in Jamaica, so you left. Did you find that opportunity in the U.S.? And
how long
did it take?
Have I found that prosperity? Yes, I did. And it took over time, and it was incremental. It was very purposeful. It is fulfilling. And it has not been a job. It has been a vocation that pays me. Because when you do a job, you're looking exchange for money. But when you do your vocation, you are providing for people and yourself as well. But you see the satisfaction that you give to people that makes you want to get up and go to
keep
work.
Going.
And at the end of the day, you think, oh my goodness, it's time to go home already. You have to feel that joy. You have to feel that spirit within you. You have to find something that makes you smile. And I'm not saying that every day is going to be good.
A walk in the park. So you've entered our sweet spot now when you begin to talk about abundant life and finding satisfaction in living to your purpose. Because when you say vocation, you're talking about calling and purpose, and those are God words.
Purpose.
So now you got to tell me, was the faith always there? Did it emerge out of suffering? How did your faith get to the point where you could find that abundant life?
It came from a place of accepting people, loving people, you do something and for people and help them to grow, to nurture them, and you're not selfish with what God has given to you. I've always had a purpose in life. It's an assignment, really, that God has given to me, that no matter what it is that you do in life, you are going to help to propel the next person. And as you do for yourself, you are going to lift as you climb. You're not going to leave the next person there. You're going to take them with you. And so that's why I pray that God will allow me to do things in my path that I could allow the next person to be a better version of themselves. And that I am going to pour into someone where I am going to make them better today than I have found them yesterday. That's my calling.
Yeah, you speak like that, and this is the phrase that pops into my mind: God revealed. Because it sounds as if God revealed himself to you through your service to others. That as you watch people grow, as you watch them be blessed by what you're doing, you began to see God. So what does he look like?
He is powerful. He is powerful, but I have never seen his face. I see more of the silhouette, the side view. Yes, the side view. And he is not skinny, He's not overweight, but he's not skinny.
Well, he's perfect.
And he's perfect, yes. And his hair is ruffled backwards, always having the star.
So when you talk about that the hair looking, when you say ruffled, what I see is movement. God is on the move.
Yes.
And you see that you see that in the shape of him, that he's not standing still and waiting. So he's not waiting on man to do. Really, if you don't carry your weight, someone else will fill the slot. And you say the staff, this is the protective God. How have you been protected in your place of, I'm going to say exile, because that is the language of the morning, the diaspora, whether it is self-imposed exile or imposed by other forces. But how did you find him protecting you in your new country?
He has always been sending a guiding angel. He has always allowed people to come in my path who would pour into me. And I think one of the reasons for that is God sees my heart and knows that when someone pours into me, or situation would present itself that would pour into me, that my intention is to pour back into someone and to pay it forward. Yes.
As I listen to you, the words comes to my mind: faith in action.
Faith in action. Oh,
yes, that's
so
what comes
appropriate.
To me. Yes, and it take me to the point where here you are living in the United States for 40 years, and you have a passion for this country, our country,
burning passion.
Jamaica. Tell us about that.
My story really began years ago when I visited, when I visited my district. I looked at the people with whom I grew up. And some of them, I understand it's two different lifestyles, but people in Jamaica who are in a position to work and take care of themselves better. Yeah, they look good. But I did notice that there were a few people that I know could have presented better. And I started to wonder, what was it? Some of them looked older than me. We went to school together. And there were other people too who were older than me then, that they looked much older. And I just saw where health was something that could be optimized.
Yes.
Some of them were sick. Some of them were sick, not at their optimal best. And I had a few talks with them.
Yes.
And I looked at them and I said, God, Rose, you have to change this trajectory, but I can only do it through God. I got back to the United States. I conferred with Dr. Luso, a real nice physician. He's married, he's African, married to my cousin, Jamaican.
Yes.
And I said, we need to take a medical trip to Jamaica every year so that we can help to optimize the status, the health status, bring my people to a higher level. And funny enough, one of the pastors, Pastor White, he said to me, actually, they were here 2 years ago. So do not reinvent the wheel, just partner with them. And that's how I got to partner with them, because I didn't know that they had actually gone. And once we got together, it was history. And every year since then, for the past 8 years, with the exception now when COVID clipped our wings. Yes. But we are getting ready to move again.
So what's the name of this project?
It is the Chijan. But under me, it is Rose's Garden of Hope Foundation. That's my nonprofit. Yes.
Okay.
Rose's
And
Garden
does it
of Hope.
does it only operate in your community, or it's a national project?
It's international. It's international.
So when it comes to Jamaica, is it open to all Jamaicans, or it's just in a particular community? Oh, so
all Jamaican.
So when are you coming? When next will you be here?
God's willing, we'll be there March of next year.
March 2023. Well, and I'm sure in due course you would share with us how persons can be connected, whether it is to benefit or to support the project.
Yes. So far, we have gone to Kingston, Maypen, Manchester, St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland, and a couple of places well in Manchester, Bryce, Pike. Robbins Hall.
My mother's people are from Pike.
Yes.
What are the kinds of services that are offered when they come?
We have services for children where we would assess them, and after we have found their diagnosis, we will take medication for them. That would be appropriate, yes. And the same thing for adults too. The year before COVID, we had an orthopedic specialist, and he deals with joints and rheumatoid arthritis. And
so it's a full body. It's not just mental health care.
No,
it's whatever the health status is. It's total care.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, total health care. My other side of it is total health care services and wellness. Right. So I look after the total person.
Yes, we would not want to let you go without you telling us a little bit of what you are doing in the diaspora.
Okay. So for those of us who are listening to me and you have heard the word diaspora, it doesn't make sense to you. It doesn't mean anything. You do not know what it fully means. Let me tell you real quickly. The diaspora, it's a group of people who are not living in their born land. For instance, the Jamaican diaspora. That includes all Jamaicans who are not living in Jamaica. The heaviest concentration of the diaspora, Jamaican diaspora, they're the UK, Canada, and the United States, here in North America. So let me talk about North America because that's where I live. North America is divided into 3 sections. The Midwest, which would include California, is now managed by Miss Shauna Chin. The Northeast, which would include New York, New Jersey, is managed by Dr. Karen Dunkley. And here in the Southern region, it is managed by Dr. Alan Cunningham, who is not seeking re-office in December. Thus, the opportunity for the candidates now to vie for that region.
Yes.
That region, include the 13 southern states. And the 13 southern states are Alabama, Arizona, Arkansas, Florida, Georgia, Louisiana, Mississippi, North and South Carolina, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Texas, and New Mexico.
Mm-hmm. The heart of old slave ownership.
So I am currently the first two-term and sitting president for the Jamaica Diaspora, Southern United States, JADIAS. So I am saying I am already working and managing these 13 Southern United States, collaborate among the states.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to take it a step higher by going globally. So when I go globally, I do not operate only among the states, but I take it to Jamaica and I will advise the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade the needs of the people. And we want to develop a deeper engagement and interaction between us in the diaspora and Jamaica.
So the global organization will cover the Jamaican diaspora in the UK and Canada, not just the United States. When you say you want to take it global, yes, okay.
Okay, globally, yes, not just among the states.
Right.
But
so,
even though we're globally, we're in sections. I am in the southeast section.
Understood. When are the elections?
Mm-hmm. The elections, at this point, registration is going on and it is extended. So election registration will go on till the 31st of this month. And then, God's willing, January 10th to January 27th will be the election.
Well.
And now, now the general website to register, it's actually GLOW, GLOJAM, Councils, COUNCILS.com. However, if you use my website, rosemarylewis.com, that's it.
And you mean we can vote?
You know, if we have a vote, we'd give it to you. I have a feeling, Dr. Lewis, that we are going to be speaking with you during the period of your inauguration. Please ensure that the Morning Commission, the Morning Connection is invited.
Yes,
to celebrate your ascension to that high office. It is done. It is done. And why I say it with such confidence is because we have been laying a platform here on the Morning Connection for deepening and really elevating the nature of the engagement between Jamaica and her diaspora to be in alignment with the word of God in Ezekiel chapter 11, verse 16. Please read it. I read it before you came on the program. And Ezekiel chapter 11, verse 16.
Oh, Jesus.
So I'm gonna send you off. We've gone over the break, but you're well worth it. I know that the producer is beside me now. So I know he will forgive me. We're giving you. This is what the sovereign Lord says. Although I sent them far away among the nations and scattered them among the countries, yet for a little while I have been a sanctuary for them in the countries where they have gone. Therefore say, this is what the sovereign Lord says. I will gather you from the nations and bring you back from the countries where you have been scattered. And I will give you back the land of Jamaica again. You will return to it and remove all its vile images and detestable idols. I will give you an undivided heart and put a new spirit in you. I will remove from you a heart of stone and give you a heart of flesh.
Thus said the
My
Lord.
goodness.
Says the Lord.
Do you know what my initiatives are?
Tell me.
It will be about health.
Well, heart of
digital
flesh.
leadership,
part of
crime,
flesh.
Yes.
education, and economy.
Well, I bless you,
And hopefully
Rosemary
justice
Lois,
is in there.
daughter of Jamaica.
Jesus.
And I tell you, if you claim the prophecy of Ezekiel chapter 11, verse 16, there is no stopping you.
Jesus.
We bless you.
And oh my God. And the thing is, before anything else, I am not perfect, but I walk in his will.
Yes.
And I am his daughter. I'm anointed.
Yes. Yes.
I am not ashamed of the gospel of Christ.
Yes.
And he's not ashamed of
Excellent.
you.
Excellent.
All right, my darling.
And yes.
We're going to let you go.
I think this is part one.
Yes.
This is part one.
This is part one. Part two
And we
will be.
certainly will remain in touch with you.
Yes.
You know, and
Yes.
we look
Yeah.
forward to the good news.
Mhm.
You know, and certainly when your feet are on this soil, let us touch base again. All right. So this is
Definitely.
a
All right.
journey, and this is just the beginning.
All right. So
I am truly humbled.
thank you very, very much. We love you. We don't
Thank
want to
you.
go. And you caused me to prophesy on radio. So,
Oh my goodness.
I know when
Yes,
it's
yes,
happening
yes.
because it's so emotional, and I just really had to do that with you this morning. So God bless
Oh
you
my
on the
goodness.
journey.
Thank
It
you.
really does not matter. You gotta go with the three Hebrew boys. They say, "I know my God can do this," and if He chooses not to, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter what
Mhm.
road faces you next.
Mhm.
It will be the right and perfect road, and we shall meet.
Mhm.
We will
Yes.
meet.
And I live in his promises.
Yes, they're true.
Okay.
All right.
Yes.
Have a
Let's take
blessed
the break
day.
Thank you
now.
so very much.
You're
Have a
most
blessed day.
welcome.
And may the Lord be praised.
Every
Always
time.
glory.
May he be praised.
All right.
Amen.
Blessings.
A difference you can hear, a difference you can feel.
Best FM. Keep listening.
Seniors, the Ministry of Labor and Social Security is advising that the November 2022 payment under the Social Pension Program is now available for collection. Check your text messages to confirm your payment arrangements. For further information, call 876-922-8007. The Social Pension Program, caring for our elderly. A message from the Ministry of Labor and Social Security, providing opportunity, stability, and social protection.
For a better choice in all your electrical supplies, A, authorized 3M dealer and better brand names. B, better service including free island-wide delivery. C, all major credit and debit cards accepted. It's ABC Electrical Sales. Shop number 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10. Open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We make your electrical jobs as easy as ABC. Call 754-3825-8 or fax 754-3659. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice.
What should a taxi service do for you? On-time taxi service is more than just a ride to the other side of town. They offer clean and spacious vehicles, reliable service, and promise to always look out for their customers. They'll come when you call and take you where you want to go on time.
You can call us at 926-3866. We are something special on the road.
Half a tree, one and drive, half a tree. Bossy, how we do I take taxi start?
Chano, I want to tell you, say, 2 months now, my transmission mash up, and I check everybody and can't hear nothing positive.
Yeah, hear me? Yeah, waste all that time I shop around and never call the experts. Winters Auto have them. Them have over 35 years of experience and them diagnose your problem and get back your transmission brand new. For them service excellent and efficient. Trust me, man. Yeah, hear me? Call them at 929-7040 or go to them at 106 Maxfield Avenue, Kingston 13 and talk directly to the boss. Just tell them I'm me send you.
You big star. Yeah, man, respect my boss.
Trust me.
What a relief.
Veteran Printers for all your printing needs. We specialize in calendars, flyers, brochures, and more. Call us today at 968-7506. That's 968-7506. Or visit us at 4 East Bloomsbury Road, off Hagley Park Road. Veteran Printers, your best choice in printing.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minette and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Best 100 FM.
It's good. It's better, but nothing beats.
Good morning and welcome back. The numbers to call us this morning, as always, 619-1508 and 876-279-8473. Oh, whew. I got to get the heat down in the studio because I'm speaking to our sister, Dr. Lewis. She's all the way in Florida. We're here in Kingston. And I tell you, it's like she was just right here in the studio. You could just feel her spirit and be so impressed and appreciative of the work she's doing. Good morning and welcome to the Morning Connection. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
Hey, Wayne.
Good
morning, Brother Wayne.
Good morning.
I'm going to read something from John 14, St. John 14, all right?
Mm-hmm.
Don't let your hearts be troubled. Trust in God and trust also in me. There is more than enough room in my Father's home. If this were not so, would I have told you that I am going to prepare a place for you? When everything is ready, I will come and get you, so that you will also always be with me where I am. And you know the way to where I am going. No, we don't know, Lord, Thomas said. We have no idea where you are going. So how can we know the way? Yahshua told him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one can come to the Father except through me. If you had really known me, you would know who my Father is. From now on, you do know him and have seen him. Philip said, Lord, show us the Father, and we will be satisfied. Yahshua replied, have I been with you all this time, Philip, and yet you still don't know who I am? Anyone who has seen me has seen the Father. So why are you asking me to show him to you? Don't you believe that I am in the Father and the Father is in me? The word I speak are not my own, but my Father who lives in me does his work through me. Just believe that I am in the Father and the Father is in me. Or at least believe because of the work you have seen me do. I tell you the truth. Anyone who believes in me will do the same works I have done, and even greater works, because I am going to be with the Father. You can ask for anything in my name, and I will do it, so that the Son may bring glory to the Father. Yes, ask for anything in my name, and I will do it. Blessed. Yeah, I read through the Bible last night, and my spirit tells them to read a piece of Janya on the program, you know?
I love the way how you read it. And then you return to your own style of speaking. Both of them beautifully done. So, why you think the Spirit led you to that scripture?
Yeah, so anything we are go about, you have to pray, you know? You have to pray in the Master's name, you know? Yeah, because
But it's
it
not
will be done.
It's not just that way, because I listen to it and I hear what we started with this morning, that we're all connected. Just as Christ said, I am in the Father is in me. And if we abide in him, the Son, then the Father is in us too. So we can all be connected. And then the other point he made when he gave that speech to his disciples, he said, the Father loved me, I love the Father. If you are a part of me, then you will love. And by the love you display to one another, the world will know that you are mine. It's a beautiful, it is everything that Jesus, Yeshua, spoke of before he took his leave from this realm. It's just the most beautiful exposure of the Father's heart for his children. You listened to Dr. Lewis, who was on with us just now, and I wondered as you were reading if something in one, how she described seeing the Father, how she described her journey of faith. If you saw the words of coming out of the scripture sort of being displayed in her life, in her commitment, and in what she's doing, because I certainly felt it as you were reading.
Yeah. Yes. One more thing I want to talk about now. A former prime minister said one time, those who played by the rule get shafted. The item I refer about.
Oh yes, telling what you know and sharing and supporting.
Yeah.
Hi boy.
People who speak the truth when them see corruption end up lose all them job.
Yes.
Right? Them call them whistleblower.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you check the world, enough of that you see a go on when the truth speak out against those who up on top when them do them corruption.
Yep.
You know, people intend to suffer, lose them life, lose them job. History show that too. The history of mankind show that too, you know. So the stream now go clean and stay clean. I mean, even cleaning up unless we really can solve the problem up top. You know, because a lot of things are going. Even the policeman where you read about where must say second offender or repeat offender shouldn't get bail so easy.
Yes.
But at the same time, you know, when them looking at the police force, they're supposed to see a lot of corruption.
Mm-hmm.
When them look on the history of these political leaders, see a lot of corruption. Now we don't see nobody are put in a jail and a hold on there till evidence come out, and it is unbalanced.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so them things justice is a balance thing. Right? You can't fling everything from the poorer people picnic when them do wrong, and at the same time when them up there do wrong, it's like everybody smooth it off, you know? And sweet it off and try find some reason for like give them consent to do wrong. You know,
like I do like what you said a while ago, that the policeman who speaks, any one of us who point finger at someone else and expect them to live at a higher standard than we currently live, or for them to talk truth when we ourselves don't speak truth, we're being hypocritical. Yeah. All right, my brother, thank you.
And we know a world where if anyone stands out, that deal with true justice and righteousness, then go to great persecution.
Of course.
Right?
There's the pattern for that. So
if the UIC president or the UIC movement really deal with intent for better the Jamaican people, they will go through great persecution.
Yeah, you have to prepare for it, expect it, and be ready to deal with it, because there is no other way, really.
Yes, and just remember that the Father, so we fight in victory.
Unite. Yeah. We who know better have to unite around anyone, like I'm willing to unite around the IDEM, the UIC, anyone who are dealing with justice, I'm going to tell you, that they are ready for work. Bless up.
All right, brother. Thank you so much.
Blessings.
Good morning and welcome to the Morning Connection.
Good morning.
Good morning, Dixon.
Good morning. From what I'm figuring out the program.
Yes.
Have I reached that really just short talk?
I don't think so, but you could try with Minette and Lowell on the Morning Connection.
Okay, let me try it what I have there.
Yes, just try with what you have.
Couple of things.
Yes.
Long live the king. May he not escape the fire that burns from foot to his crown, that burns for the just reparation for the people of the Caribbean. And
those are your words? Those are your words or you're quoting?
No, my own.
Oh, I like them. Say it again. Long live the king. May he burn.
May he not escape the fire.
May he burn. That is my summary.
From the foot to his crown, that burns for just reparation and repatriation due to us.
But do you see that the king, though the crown is new on his head, has not made any change or had an impact on what is happening in those dependent territories where they are moving swiftly to return to their colonial ways? That speak of the British Virgin Islands, there's Turks and Caicos, there's Anguilla. Those are the three that come quickly to mind. That instead of releasing people into independence and withdrawing from interference in self-determination, they are using their governors to continue to impose their own style of rulership on free people.
Very interesting. It's not surprising it's Brexit. All right?
Yes. Yes.
They seem to want to extend themselves to what where they were before and gather around to what pass through the hand to give them an opportunity to, well, probably put their foot a little bit more gently on our neck.
Well, you know, when I look at what's happening in those countries, I think about the fact that Jamaica still has a governor general, and that the governor general has some very real powers. Maybe they have been exercising it benignly for time, but at any moment they could realize the enormous power that they wield. It is the governor general's proclamation that brings every statute passed in the House into effect. If he refuses to sign, there is no law that we pass that will come into effect. If you notice, all of them have to be signed by him. If he refused to declare a state of emergency, there can be no state of emergency. If he refuses to declare a time of public disaster, and so on. So
I have known a couple of governor generals in the past who will question and does it publicly to what the politicians are doing or wanting to do or what to be done. I don't know if you recall.
No, I don't give. You remember, Lowell?
Yes.
I don't remember any of them speaking out on the politics. I remember some strong personalities, but I cannot recall. Wake up a memory for us, because I may not be the only one.
The first one I recall.
Who?
Master
Florizel. Yes. What do you recall him speaking on publicly that was of political significance?
I can't give it a specific.
Okay. Yeah, because
it is like operation questions.
Yes.
That
because I think most of us have seen them and think of them as rubber stamping. They can grant some relief because they head the Privy Council locally, and they show up at different social events and so on and so forth. But I don't think many Jamaicans realize that there is real power they could exercise if they chose to take the job a little more seriously than most of them do.
I don't think the last two are of that vogue at all, because advice is available to them.
Yes.
So when things are about to be something, they should check it out and they can step in.
Well, advice is available to many. And
if they can wear insignia accoutrements
Yes.
that you're on the table of other people. Then it tell you where the eyes and where the back.
You're I'm hardly hearing you now. We're hard. Yeah, but the quality of the call is very poor.
We have another one.
I think you
holding,
might have to call us back,
yeah, it's best
Jigsaw.
for you to call us back.
Yeah, the quality of the call is poor. Not hearing you well. Call us back. Yes.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning and welcome to the Morning Connection.
Yes, hello, good morning to you both.
Yes, good morning, my brother.
I heard the doctor say something that I am a bit perplexed, confused. I'm not sure what she said because I never heard those words before.
Oh, let's
and she said it 3 times. She said, "May God be praised." And I've never heard any Christian say that.
Really?
No, I never heard it. May God be. I've always heard people say, "Praise God," or in the affirmative.
Yes, yes.
But not in the maybe.
Yes. No, but
I wonder if it's just a mistake. I don't know.
No. It is a style of speaking, very poetic, but that expression typically really only means, may those who see the work of whatever in my life praise God.
Okay, well, like I said,
yes. I'm familiar with it.
The average Joe, you think he understands that?
No, so maybe not, because I don't call you an average Joe. You're above average. but the fact that you asked, it is a very poetic way of speaking. It actually sounds very King James-ish. And it is only to say, those who see what is happening in my life, may they give credit to God. We never compel praise, because praise must be voluntary. If you compel it, it is something else. So you say, may God be praised.
Yes, it's just a different angle, I suppose.
Yes.
But like I said, a bit unusual for me.
Yeah, it's a style.
I was just saying, wow, but yeah.
So what? Does it
I don't think I was using those words myself.
It wouldn't sound natural if I heard you say it.
Yeah. Is it that you think it feels wrong or anything like that?
Like my mind.
It doesn't. He doesn't think. I'm repeating what you said for Laura's benefit. He doesn't. He wouldn't use those words because they don't reflect his mind, his thought process.
All right.
Yeah.
Right. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But outside of that, I mean, what did you think of this lady?
Yes, wonderful. Another bright lady.
Yes.
Another bright lady.
Yes.
There's so many. How come so many women are so bright?
Because there are so many bright fathers.
Oh boy.
Oh. All right.
we are the product. we are products of the fathers who contributed to our origins. But you asked that question, and I know that many persons see the determination with which women are claiming a space on the stage, and they see an imbalance. I'm very hopeful that it's not an imbalance, it's just a different arena. Men who have run things for so long, there are things that you no longer count as a major accomplishment. But for the women, it is still new territory. So we're eating it up.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also, bear in mind that our men are failing in so many ways. So sad, so hurtful.
Yes.
I see so many young men that would have a plastic cup in their hand.
Yeah.
Early in the morning.
Yeah.
And I wanted to myself, okay, when this young man in his 20s is like that now, how will he be in 5-10 years?
Yeah. And don't
He's
even.
only going to continue.
Yeah.
Only going to continue.
Unless there is a severe intervention.
Unless there is some intervention. By somebody who means something to him. And maybe a stranger too, but
but somebody who connects.
Yes. So sad, man. Yeah. That's okay.
All right, my brother.
All right.
Good morning and welcome to the Morning Connection.
Good morning, my brothers and my sisters. How are you all doing?
We are well, Miss Elaine.
Morning.
How are you?
Yes, we are good. We are good. So from the east to the west to the north and to the south of this beautiful holy garden, good morning to you all. We love you no matter where you from. We are one.
Yes, ma'am. Yes. I endorse that.
Yes. That lady sounds good.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
She made me wish I had a vote. Yes?
This minute,
I am listening.
You see, just like how the amount of Jamaican were in Florida and all both in the politics. Is like me I tell?
No, there are a lot of Jamaicans. The diaspora is big.
Yes, and them have a lot of people that come out, don't it?
Yes.
Yes. And you think that we never took independent from Britain, we wouldn't be in a British also. We in India, with a India stop law and a defend the Caribbean. None of the Caribbean couldn't take an independent from them. None. I make them respond. You understand? I can't go work and tell me want to go work. And everybody down here criminal. And them lock where we can't travel. You understand what I say?
Not fully, Elaine. And because we're at the break where it's 9:01, I don't know if you can stay or if you're going to call me back, but we have to take a station break. I would love to understand what you're saying.
All right.
Yes? So let's take the break.
I don't really have enough questions.
No. It's better you hang up. It's better you hang up.
Call back.
Hang up and call us back. All right, my dear.
All right.
During the break, no one can explain to me what.
A difference you can hear, a difference you can feel.
Best FM 100 on your dial. Keep listening.
Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. God is good. This is already pastor and friend, Reverend Simon Peter Jones, inviting you, my friends, to listen every Tuesday evening on Best 100 FM at 7:30 p.m. for the program, The Voice of Hope, as we extend hope to the hopeless in this dying world. God is good. Be encouraged. Hope is in.
For a better choice in all your electrical supplies, A, authorized 3M dealer and better brand names. B, better service including free island-wide delivery. C, all major credit and debit cards accepted. It's ABC Electrical Sales. Shop number 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10. Open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We make your electrical jobs as easy as ABC. Call 754-3825-8 or fax 754-3659. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice.
Veteran Printers for all your printing needs. We specialize in calendars, flyers, brochures, and more. Call us today at 968-7506. That's 968-7506. Or visit us at 4 East Bloomsbury Road, off Hagley Park Road. Veteran Printers, your best choice in printing.
Half a tree, 100, half a tree. Bossy, how we do I take taxi start?
Chano, I want to tell you, say, 2 months now, my transmission mash up, and I check everybody and can't hear nothing positive.
Yeah, hear me? Yeah, waste all that time I shop around and never call the experts. Winters Auto have them Them have over 35 years of experience and them diagnose the problem and get back your transmission brand new. For them service excellent and efficient. Trust me, man. You hear me? Call them at 929-7040. Or go to them at 106 Maxfield Avenue, Kingston 13 and talk directly to the boss. Just tell them I'm me, send you.
You big star. Yeah, man, respect my boss.
Try and call him, cause trust me.
Ah, what a relief.
For discussions on health and education, inspiring interviews, surprise giveaways, your favorite songs, tune into Best 100 FM this and every Sunday at 11:30 to 12 noon. It's Distinction 411, your weekly college magazine program hosted by James and the Distinction family. Catch you on Sunday.
Best 100 FM is the authentic voice of Jamaica, promoting your prosperity with better vibes and better music. Let us promote your goods and services for you. Advertise with us. For more information, call our office at 876-276-8935. That's 276-8935.
Hey, what's up? It's your girl, Lady Lee, the Queen of the South, and I'm inviting you all to trailblaze with me on the best of the best radio station, the Best 100 FM, Mondays through Thursdays, 2 to 5 p.m. You can't afford to miss it on your airwaves. Yes, trailblaze with Lady Lee right here, Mondays to Thursdays, 2 to 5 p.m. on the best of the best, Best 100 FM. Mwah.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minette and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Best 100 FM.
It's good. It's better. But nothing beats.
Good morning and welcome back. Thank you for holding to the caller on the line.
Yes, and good morning, Queen.
Hey, good morning,
and
King.
Good morning to Austin and everybody that's here. Engineer and the whole crew that listening to the best radio station in Jamaica. Only the best. He's the best. Do the best. Only best of it. All right? So, how are you doing this morning, Queen?
I am very well, thank you, sir.
Good. Well, I hear one of you talking. I love what you're saying. Because Jamaican people, they need enlightenment, they need knowledge, they need wisdom. But the greatest of all is love, which is unity.
Mm-hmm.
And only if they could just get that little one word, love, and know the meaning of it. Because the meaning of love is the Almighty Creator. It's about caring for humanity, love one another, look out for one another. That's what love is. Love the mean, help one another, bad mind one another, discriminate one another, look down for one another. You know the sad story in the Bible? He came to his own. His own received him not.
Received him not.
They reject him, refused him. Because started my carpenter boy. That's Jamaican people. And you come from a poor family, the one you care not for you. You understand that?
Yes.
Because I'm the carpenter boy. Mm-hmm. No, this carpenter boy is a scripture from Genesis to Revelation that tells us that this man born on the 25th of December. That the Lion of Judah is the month of August. And to all of the pastors that misleading the world, remember, you know, woe be unto you all. Woe be unto you all, pastors, that misleading my children, leading them astray. Because you tell the people who sacrifice the pagan holiday, which is December. Same thing with Easter. The Israeli people kill the baby there, drink their blood and use the blood to mark and eat over the house, call it Passover. Really so, concept, you take a tree and you decorate the tree. That is either. That's a good one to know either. Worship none of them. But no, everybody ignore Joshua. Everybody ignore him and oh, the 25th of December is Jesus' birthday. And everybody, I tell you what already got. And then January morning, for boy, they're hungry. Because them things are Christmas belong unto God. God have nothing to do with Christmas. Nothing at all. So they stop confusing themselves with Christmas and the Almighty Creator. Because that is man-made things make up to trick you all and to rob you all. Poor people see everything from January to December. And they take it on the spirit one day when December comes. Why? Who they impressing? Because it's not God. It's not God. So all of you people keep on doing wickedness and evil, especially the pastor them in the church. These are the message we have to own. If you don't read the Bible, I want to know what you don't read, ask somebody to explain it to you. Because you can't go on and teach people things that is not so. That you're misleading the people and when you're teaching them things that is not so. God created male and female in one image. But you, the pastor, know, going around and telling, oh, God is a spirit. Anybody wants to God.
All right, my brother.
Yes,
All right, you're licking a sermon on me now. What point did you call to discuss? Because you know, we need to have a discussion, not a sermon.
Yes, we have a discussion, but I want the pastor.
No, it's not a discussion when you alone take it and you're preaching, you know, what you understand. No, hold on, B.
No, you say he's talking and we haven't asked a question or anything.
So that's why I'm putting it now.
No, I do not like the things that Jamaica pastors been teaching our people.
All right, well,
change the way you teach our people.
All right,
I'm going to teach you very young. At 10 o'clock.
All right,
that is a spirit and at 10 o'clock.
I can't challenge you on some of the things that you're raising.
So we need to change the way we teach Jamaica people. So they teach them can grow up with knowledge, understanding and love.
All right.
The pastor is supposed to teach the Christian about to love. Three quarters Christian and have no love. Then we will love their neighbor.
All right,
my brother. Thank you.
Come on, man.
We try our best. We try our best here. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
All right. Good morning and welcome to the Morning Connection.
And then again.
Good morning, Wayne.
Yes, Wayne.
One more thing that always come to my mind where we need some explanation from those who said this thing, and Mr. Lawrence always say. You refer to as Mr. Patterson need to like come out more, make himself be heard more, right? And deep within my spirit, I wonder myself, you know, when I love you, tell me, give me a more explanation of the speech when me hear a bit more than one time, or me gonna ask you, suppose you were in Mr. Patterson's position in the UIC, what else you would be doing? That's my question.
Well, the first thing is that the people need to get to know you. They need to get to know what you are about. They need to understand how you are prepared to represent them, right? You need to be visible. There are issues that are affecting people in this country. We need to hear your perspective on it. You know, I mean, they just need to get to know you so that we can have, you know, informed or make an informed decision when the time comes.
All right. I've heard him on this program 2 times. You know, nothing come on it more than 2 times, but 2 times I hear him.
Yes.
I have heard him on Kabu program 1 time, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. A few of us know about this party. I don't know if everybody know about it, but a few people well know about the party, and him explaining things. The eye them ask him questions and him explain and him say what he must say.
Yeah.
Now within myself, by listening to all these things that me hear him say, within myself, me not a problem with what me hear myself. So me ask myself then, what can I do individually to strengthen the movements here to better the country? Because me not really know no other movements still, you know. Me don't know if I can tell me of any other. So me now, it is up to me now to reach out to. Because Him alone can do all of the reach out. We need to do some reach out, and some conscious-minded people need to do some reach out to him and make a reason more on what he's saying and what he sees happening and formulate a plan and go about it patiently, steadily, and firmly. That's my view, you know?
Yeah, and I understand the view. And you need to appreciate that you can't just say it one time or a couple of times and leave it. It's a reason why, for example, companies will run ad campaigns. Because you see, you have to keep saying it to the people. You have to keep reminding them so that when the need comes, they know exactly where to go. And that's what it's about. So you and I, yes, we get the information and we can spread it to our friends and neighbors. But also, if you are not refreshed in terms of, what you stand for, then your message will eventually water down.
Yeah, because most of the people them are called 90 people them. They need to forget.
Attention span short.
I understand. Yeah. All right, let's up.
Yeah, man.
All right, brother. Thank you.
All right, my brother. Yes.
Good morning and welcome to the Morning Connection.
Morning, Princess.
How are you, sir?
Not too bad. I'm to the gentleman, Anna.
Honor to you, my brother.
Yeah, man, I've been hearing us constantly talking about governance. I will keep looking at that we want to change from one system to the next system. But have we taken the real issue at hand? Because we have been doing governance only because we just slaughter our masters' children and their colleagues. That's why they give us governance, because they don't want us to wipe them out. So the real issue here is really who owns this property or this land or this place that we reside on.
So
it's controlled and owned by them by the same constitution.
Oh, I see. You're using the constitution, the word governance and constitution interchangeably. We
govern ourselves by the constitution. The constitution is a standard. So anything that we want to do or pass, we have to be guided by the same constitution. Am I correct? It's how I will regulate how you will it.
Yeah, well,
in connection with the rights that the constitution gives to you.
Yeah. Well, I'm pausing and reflecting on what you're saying, because what you're saying is not true of what happens. It's like when you take a textbook and you take from the textbook and then you look at real life. And so but make your point. Explain to me.
Put it to the test then. As you say,
yes,
the Governor General have the final authority on behalf of the master that he serves. And the Prime Minister's power is also underneath his authority. Even although the Prime Minister governs and the rest of those in Parliament, if he doesn't ratify, then where do we go from here?
But has he ever not ratified? That's why I said.
Hold on, man. We'll take it a step at a time.
Right. Do your thing.
No, I said a step at a time because I rush ahead of me. We are at the same place now.
All right.
So we are doing governance, and that's what we are doing among ourselves. So they want to pull up each other what they want to do. That's your prerogative. But I'm making the point now that no matter how you want to governance, or you want to become republic or whatever, it doesn't change the reality that this is a property and place that we are governing ourselves. Don't belong to us under the same constitution. That we are creating laws in between and having, whether regulated or unofficially, just rubber stamping. You name all what is happening. Because any day he says no, where do we stand? We have to now make a decision either to depart totally from whatsoever. And then here comes the next stand. You don't own this property. Who you then go to? The Privy Council? Your constitution don't already say it's crown land. Who you then go to? The Caribbean? See them turning back. So where are we going with all of this constant
what you're saying exposes the confusion that prevails. and it is very hard to analyze confusion with logic. And that's what you've managed to summarize a lot of what is happening against what should happen and against what can happen, and it's like we've created a circle from which we can't escape. Could we look at it this way?
Well, that's very good. That's very good. That's why they still have the Commonwealth.
Right. So let's look at it this way, because our mission is to escape that vicious cycle of asking your enemy for permission to escape your enemy.
Then all you will do that no. If for instance your children lives in your house.
Yes.
And you are the, so to speak, authority in that property or home.
Mm-hmm.
Now, any day your children decide to do otherwise, the gate is wide enough for them to take their little belongings and step out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, all right. So therefore, you establish that I am the person who leads and have the right to control this little space here. But outside of that space into the John public, you have no control, like in your neighbor's place. You have no control. So you go on and on. So you have that little piece of land that you lease or you own, you call it own. So you establish your authority. So I go again now, step back now. She owns the land still according to the Constitution, or we still call it Crown land, same way and whatever else you give homage to. So therefore, where are you going with this? You say you're running and you become a Republican and you become this. That is a
but you see, that's
we need to start to establish proper leadership first.
Oh, I see.
So we have caliber of character to lead us who understand all these little genres and, as you say, the confusions and the little logic and the legal position. And then we try to come together now to use the same legal position now to acquire our home. So we have our authority here, and it resides only in us, not for somebody to ratify, or we wait upon, or we call upon. We do want
So you see that there is a. So you see that there is a point of exit, and you see that there's a.
I know there's a point of exit.
Okay.
All right.
Yes.
My brother.
There's only one point of exit, and it's only matter of fact for all the Commonwealth so-called nations. Notice you can list them out. They are still belonging to the conqueror, the imperial conqueror. So, and matter of fact, have you seen America invade any of them? Have you seen any outside forces? Are you challenge the imperialists now?
Yeah.
Because
yes.
property.
And some people, like my sister who called and may call back, believe that there is some protection that you get, and that the being associated with the crown, and that the price of it and your independence is the price you pay for that protection. But I think Lowell want to say something. So let me.
I hear the discussion, and I, for one, like when we are able to break it down in such a way that everyone who is listening can follow it.
Can keep pace.
Yes, because sometimes our discussion get a little too academic. And so we're talking about establishing leaderships and doing these various things. Now, the man in the street question is, I hear you, but how do I go about establishing leadership? Am I the one who is supposed to do it? Who is supposed to do it?
First of all, I think what we need to do, since we have the so-called public access airwaves, and we have the various meeting places we can meet and address the public, is to start to educate slowly that they will continually decide to be hunger and thirst and moving for what you call righteousness. So in the whole realm of moving towards that, they will know, their standard will know increase, and they will know realize that they want proper leadership.
And some people,
I will tell you something. All the 40 years of inner city work I've done, I book up nobody. no gunman no done except for one that made the point to me. That's my PNP gunman, and that's it. And the Dan himself, the move on as a boy, you're clown. And we discuss how to do this. The point I'm making that a lot of these communities that we think are so much, we call
tribal,
can come around. Is that they just, it's like you put a dog into a pig pen. And then just can't come out because you just bar him inside you.
Yes,
so if we see proper leadership as out of one man mouth, one Dan said, once we see a good leadership, we are willing to vote against both of them. But it comes to the point.
Yes.
We have to stop the talking on the airways now and start interacting. The relationships. PNP and JP build on that. That's the foundation. We started that. We have vote events in communities and that's how they entrench themselves. And that's so much color. I'm saying the same.
No, man, I get you. And you're making an important point that is real in physics and real in social dynamics. Displacement. If we want to occupy the territory, we have to displace what is there with something that is going to give them hope, value, something they can follow. I understand that. I understand that.
And if we are the standard, then I'm saying, then give up ourselves.
Yeah.
All right.
I hear you.
How much want to avail ourselves to become the light? If there's utter darkness, so to speak.
The light and the salt.
I punch, you take a needle and punch a little hole.
In the cloth.
Down to the rat, the mouse, the cockroach, everything gravitates towards it.
Yes. So
the light that into the world.
Yeah, and I hear you mention 40 years of working in certain communities. So from all that you're saying, it's the voice of experience.
And here, I tell you, man, the people are crying. That's the bottom line.
Yeah.
They want leadership. They want to see a sense, the words that one have done, sensible alternative.
Yes.
They don't know how it come up. You name how it come up.
Yes.
Between the various political so-called parties and people say them vote this, vote that. Honestly, it's just the same set of people who want party politics power.
Yeah.
Nothing about this nation. They're not chat so much about themselves now. Nothing about the nation's interests.
Yeah.
It's about their clan or their little tribes.
Of course, because it begins with securing self, family, home, your immediate surroundings.
So I go again now. We who understand love, and I want to establish a very important point now. If you love your brother or your neighbor as you love yourself, then you really have to love. Yes. But you can't love your enemy nor your brother as you love yourself. You don't know nothing about loving.
True.
True word, sir. Thank you very much.
You can't take connect. You got some love the Lord thy God. In point to the highest standard, no?
Yes.
Then you make the point.
Yes.
If you can't even appreciate them saying no, then love your neighbor as yourself.
Right.
Yeah. And loving your neighbor, you can't love yourself.
And your neighbor is your neighbor before he's your enemy.
All right, my brother. Yes, thank you for that.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Have a good day.
Yes, you too.
Man, you too.
Good morning and welcome to the Morning Connection.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
To be or not to be?
That is the question.
That is the question.
I
hope you have the follow-up line, you know. It's not.
No, I'm not tell you, I'm not you know. Don't tell nobody, you know. Just me alone, no. I don't know. Don't tell him, you know.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something.
Yes.
I always look at this to be or not to be, you know. From 1960 until now, it was the same. Not change. You know, so what type of society we have here? They're just talking and nothing else. Huh? And then take out how much $1 million to deal with situation, to fight crime. You will get car, bus, helicopter, everything to fight crime, and crime remain the same. What is really the solution? Everybody in the garden knows, and one person oppose against the SOE, one put in the truth, and just keep on talking. No talking if you stop. Action time now.
Yes, sir.
Is action time. Yes, I'm saying it is action time.
I do hear you.
You know that.
I hear you. It is action time.
Action time now, man. Like when I watch a show now, action time. Ready for the start to finish. Too much talking. Because you have a look on a criminal, a man who murdered somebody. And you give him bail. And then come out and then go murder somebody. And you lock him up again. And you give him bail. And then me and you know, through my physical license or insurance up, or whatever up on our car, they want to lock you up, arrest you because we have overdue ticket.
So let me ask you this now, because that is the danger of what that senior policeman said, by giving the impression that judges are carelessly granting bail to persons against whom there is considerable evidence of their guilt. Just the way you repeat it is saying, we know said the man murder the woman, him get bail. Him come out, he murder another man, him get bail. Him come out. Do you really think that our judges are denying the strength of evidence put before them, that a person is a risk to the community, is going to reoffend once given bail? You think our judges are really sitting there and carelessly giving bail?
Yes.
So why you no. All right, let me ask you this next question.
Yes.
So do you think that the policemen are properly bringing before the court persons with the right evidence to show that this is the guilty party and this person is a risk? You think the policemen are doing such a good job that the judge has all that he or she needs to do a better job? Because the two can't be true. You understand, George? The two things can't be true.
Yeah, but I'm saying to you.
Yes.
What did they judge him? Judge Sykes, our name.
Yeah, Brian Sykes,
the Chief Justice. And they said to them, listen me now. What kind of evidence is a report of me?
Yes. Yes.
What kind of evidence is? What kind of phone message?
All right, good.
That is not
Yes, so you believe what Judge Sykes says, that he didn't get good evidence?
That's what he said.
That's why, absolutely. So now, why would you believe that the parish court judge who grants bail is behaving any differently from Justice Sykes, who sets the standard? You understand what I'm saying?
George, can you hold? Can you hold? We're past the break.
1 second there, George. We have to take our break.
Yeah.
A difference you can hear, a difference you can feel.
Best FM 100 on your dial. Keep listening.
For a better choice in all your electrical supplies, A, authorized 3M dealer and better brand names. B, better service including free island-wide delivery. C, all major credit and debit cards accepted. It's ABC Electrical Sales. Shop number 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10. Open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We make your electrical jobs as easy as ABC. Call 754-3825-8 or fax 754-3659. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice.
Seniors, the Ministry of Labor and Social Security is advising that the November 2022 payment under the Social Pension Program is now available for collection. Check your text messages to confirm your payment arrangements. For further information, call 876-922-8007. The Social Pension Program, caring for our elderly. A message from the Ministry of Labor and Social Security, providing opportunity, stability, and social protection.
It's the season of giving, and the SOS Children's Village is proudly celebrating 50 years in Jamaica. Yes, that's 50 strong years of relentless support to our nation's children. Do you have a heart to care for the less fortunate? Help us to continue to provide a safe home for the children. Donate to a worthy cause. Donate through our website at www.sos-jamaica.org or call us at 979-5850. That's 979-5850.
Yes, indeed, it's redemption time with Apostle Clive Campbell, presenting a life-changing, life-challenging message to encourage, inspire, and motivate you towards your destiny. Every Tuesday night from 9:30 p.m. until 12:30 a.m. and on Saturday from 9 o'clock until 10, right here on Best 100 FM. It's redemption time.
Best 100 FM is the authentic voice of Jamaica, promoting your prosperity with better vibes and better music. Let us promote your goods and services for you. Advertise with us. For more information, call our office at 876-276-8935. That's 276-8935.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minette and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Best 100 FM.
It's good. It's better. But nothing beats.
Welcome back. George, are you still there? Hello?
England, man.
Oh, okay.
A new voice. Good morning and
man,
welcome.
you go ahead. Welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning, Cruz.
Miss Minette and your second, or your first.
Or my first. My first.
Morning,
Whatever happened to Pastor? I don't hear anybody.
Oh, what do you mean? You don't listen to us. Remember, you have to listen to us in the first half hour to hear what happened to Pastor. Because
I didn't
always
get to listen.
Right.
I tried.
You know that pastor is a student and a pastor. So he's finishing his master's program work, and also he has
some pastoral activities.
Yeah, he have conference, I think, for his church this weekend. So he's busy.
Yeah, man.
And he gave Lowell a break.
I tell you,
Yeah.
and I'm here struggling.
Yeah.
You're not
Miss
struggling.
Minette,
Yes,
it's only one line working?
No, why? Well, let me ask the engineer.
It seems that way.
Engineer, are both phone lines working, sir? Oh, someone was calling on the other line.
All right. Anyway, go ahead, my brother.
Engineer
if it's
said
one
no.
line, you need to free it up. So let's go.
And you can only use one line.
It's football time, so I don't talk something about football now.
All right, go ahead.
I don't know if Mr. Minette know anything about football.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Let me just tell you
I'll
that
try my brother.
Mr. Minette is a Manning's Cup finalist player.
Yeah?
Yes.
What position you used to play?
Oh, Lord, that's a long time ago. Long time ago, my brother. So long me can't remember the position them.
Me older than you, I remember the position we used to play.
What position you played?
Defense.
Oh, yes.
That's still like a general position. Don't everybody
I've
play
been a
defense?
forward, I've been a defender, I've been a midfielder. Yeah.
What I'm going to talk about, I was watching the football match. Brazil has a player with the letter on his jersey back, Jesus.
Oh, Jesus.
How do you pronounce that?
Jesus.
Why?
Because in Spanish, J is pronounced like H.
Yeah, but Brazilians don't speak Spanish.
All right, then
Well,
in
Portuguese. They are cousins.
But it is pronounced Jesus.
Jesus.
But we, when we commentating us that speak English, should we call it Jesus?
No, he's still Jesus. You're not gonna call one John.
But Miss Minette, the white American commentator called the guy Jesus.
That's okay.
No,
are you a white American?
I heard them being corrected.
Yeah?
Yes.
So what bothers you about it? Tell me, because it can't be whether Jesus of the Bible.
I'm thinking that our commentators are so scared of calling a normal person Jesus that they won't call him Jesus.
No, but that's not his name.
Oh,
that's why they don't call him so.
Yeah. But does it matter? Suppose they are suppose they're afraid. And what if somebody comes and give them child the name God?
I try to give my name My son name that died lived 2 hours at Black River Hospital before this one.
Mm-hmm.
Bin Laden, and they refuse.
What
they
they call?
can't name him Bin Laden.
Wait. Even who? Oh, they were seeking to register him.
Yes, he was born at Black River Hospital.
Right.
I think it was 2010.
And you were seeking
and they refuse. They say they can't put that on his birth certificate.
Anyway, they were wrong to refuse. You know that though, don't you?
I didn't know.
But what could make them right?
Because at that time, Bin Laden name was like a bad stigma.
Yes. So what I'm saying is they were obviously trying to caution you away from giving a child a name that would present challenges maybe in some social setting. But what could give them the right to tell any parent what name to give to their child?
Well,
when you think about it,
the other one came like 8 months after.
Yes.
About 12 months after, and his middle name was Asama. They took that name at the same spot.
Yes. Yeah, but I mean, you should be content in the knowledge that they have no right to determine what you call your child. None whatsoever.
Anyway, the other thing, politics, PNP and JLP will be here for the next 100 years if this world lasts. Just like America, the Democrat and the Republican will be here for the next 100 years. I don't know what can change it. I don't know what will change it.
Okay.
You think it will change?
I don't think it matters because I don't regard the PNP and the JLP as institutions existing outside of the people who join and give and align themselves with it. And as long as the people are changing, the party can change, will change.
The only thing I think can change is the leaders. If you get a better leader.
Yeah, but when the leader, but
better leaders.
So, but understanding that leadership influences change in the philosophy, the planning, the profile, the work of the institution. So if the leaders change, then the party has the capacity to change. Even if you don't change the name, or you can change the name and the behavior is the same, you can keep the same name and the behavior change substantially. I don't think it really matters.
The objective is to have good leaders, so it doesn't matter what you call them, as long as they're doing what they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Miss Minette.
Yes.
I see a lot of people in this country. They sound like and look like they could be good leaders, but they're not going into politics.
That is true, but you don't. You can impact. You can impact change in your country from many different platforms, and in fact, some of the most influential people are not the politicians. We talk about it all the time. Some of them are the Don men who are in the underworld, and some are the big businessmen. Maybe you think they're Dons too, but they are above the counter. You can see them, and we know who they are. One of the princes of the land will be working in your parish in short order. They're promising to start working in St. Elizabeth in January of 2023. The STAR project. Maybe they will have even greater influence than any PNP or JLP. You never know. It depends on how they engage with people and the impact that they generate.
Do you know that money turns people into dons?
Into dons?
Yes.
No such thing.
We don't agree.
No such thing.
Most people, a lot of people
money
I know,
don't do a thing
when
to
they get
people.
rich,
People
when
do.
they get rich, it's like they get power.
But it's not the money.
Right. So you're going. It's power. It's the power.
It's the people.
Yeah.
And it has
and when they have that power, they control everybody.
But you see, it has a lot more to do with how the individual relates to the power and the influence or the money that they have than even about how people treat them. Because you can be wealthy and people might want to even, kiss your boot. But if you don't receive it and desire it and crave it and insist on it and abuse it, the world would never even know that you are a person of great wealth.
Yeah.
Like I used to curse this present party, say they are corrupt.
But there's corruption in my party too.
Absolutely. I'm glad to hear you say it, because we don't want to be blind about these things.
I always say that. 'Cause right now down here, I'm thinking I will not change from being a PMP, but I don't know. There's some people down here where, I know them.
Yeah.
I know them.
Yes.
You understand? I've heard you speak. The other side say then when corruption in my party. It's hard to me curse them.
Yeah, my hope is that you will speak your views fairly and boldly, and let other persons begin the conversation around what needs to change, so that the community can get the best style of leadership and the right persons can survive whatever electoral contest takes place. So even if you never vote, make sure that you're saying why, and you're shining a light on the weaknesses or on the strengths, so that others who are influenced by what you say, or you cause other people to think and ask questions.
All right.
Mr. Lawrence.
Yes, sir.
Your team, I want you to tell me, don't hide it. Who's your team?
My team gone home.
I still need to know that name.
Oh, okay. Germany.
Germany.
Not doing well these days at all.
No, just like a school down here that used to be a traditional school, Monroe.
Yes. It happens, brother. Yes.
Brazil is my team, always. Until death do us part.
Oh, yes. I think I heard you on that already. I heard
until death do us part.
Yeah.
Let us see
I
how
don't
this one
switch, and
ends.
I will never switch.
Yes.
All right, sir. You're a good, loyal man.
All right, my brother. Keep
All
the
right.
flag flying
Thank
high.
you so much.
Okay, then.
All right. Take care.
Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Mr. and Mrs. Clark.
Good morning, sir.
And good morning to the listening audience. A quick question for you, Miss Clark.
Mm-hmm.
In the conversation some friends of mine would have had, is there a difference between a landholder and a landowner as per title?
Landholder
versus landowner.
And owner. Where did you see those words? You saw them on an instrument, or are you talking about in conversation?
And the title say you're a landholder.
Yes.
Yeah.
Title.
But people are saying, oh, that doesn't mean that you're owning the land then, and so that the queen still have ultimate
No, and that's why I asked you, because land is held in different under different ownership structures or occupation rights that you have. You can have a fee simple ownership, or it is held in the fee simple. Let's use the word held in the fee simple. And that typically means you have absolute right and control over the land. You can have a leasehold. You see the word again? Lease.
Yes.
You can have a life entailment. I'm just using some old-fashioned words.
Yes.
And all those different rights of access and use of land have their own special parameters. The fee simple ownership is the one that we go for, because that gives you the right to sell it, to use it, to mortgage it, to do whatever you want to it, permit others to use it. The leasehold is limited by a term of years, and the rights you have are based on what the owner of the fee simple gives to you. So someone can lease land to you but give you the right to mortgage it.
Okay. Very nice.
Yes, and the life entailment is what it says. You can live there for your normal, natural life. When you die, your rights to occupy the land die with you. And there may be some other in-between ones, but essentially holding land recognizes, though. Now, if you remember that at the beginning of things, meaning just when monarchies and so on are establishing themselves, all of them try to claim a divine right.
Yeah.
God who creates land is the only one who has the true ownership of land. He can send a natural disaster and it melt away.
Mm-hmm.
He can shake. He can shake the. He can shake the ground, and there's an earthquake, and the house and the land all disappear. We've seen it happen.
Precisely.
Yes.
Precisely.
Right.
One more enlightenment. And
yes.
2 Sundays ago, actually, I not quite remember. The Prime Minister was making a speech, an annual conference speech, and he said, "I am a liberal Democrat." And we believe in liberal. What, you know what that means?
A liberal Democrat?
I know most of the people in the audience did not know what it means.
He said he's a liberal Democrat.
Right.
I have no idea.
That was a proud statement.
I don't know what it means. I don't know what it means for him. But what's interesting is that the JLP is usually more aligned with the Republican Party, and he declared himself to be a liberal Democrat. So obviously there's some shift in the philosophy as he understands it. But you know, one thing I learned is that each person's understanding of a philosophy is unique to them. And they pick a position based on, sometimes they create a hybrid. And that's one of the things that is special about humanity. Don't pigeonhole a man. Everybody have their own spin on things. And even though we know there's nothing new under the sun, but it does not mean that all of us have seen all there is to see under the sun. So some of these things will be new to us. He regards himself as a liberal Democrat. We know that liberals are generally progressive and pioneering and want to push the envelope of things and pursue things in the realm of science and technology and education, and they're not tied in a box where they only follow traditional principles. A Democrat on the other hand, based on just traditional philosophy, a Democrat is one who believes in consensus and people engagement and that resources are meant to be shared with some equity behind it. So you can take those two things and figure out what the Prime Minister thinks he is, and see if even what he's displaying on the ground matches anything that one is expecting from somebody who is progressive and believes in consultation and people engagement.
So a liberal Democrat would be somebody who, based upon your analysis and your perspective, which I think is very useful, would be somebody who would go for things like same-sex marriage.
Yes, gay rights,
abortion,
and involving artificial intelligence in increasing productivity for mankind and so on. Yes, that's the extreme of it. Remember, now there are many shades as you work your way to the end of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks. Very useful.
Thank you, my brother. I appreciate the call.
And a wonderful day to you both.
You too. You too.
Thank you, my brother, and to you.
All right, that is the morning's work for you, Mr. Lawrence. Thank you very much.
Can you imagine? I survived day 2.
You survived day 2. We're going for therapy by day 3. Tomorrow morning, of course, we're going to do our declaration.
I'm leaving straight here to the therapist.
and lead the nation in prayer. Thank you very much online and on air for being a part of this morning's show. And of course, we got to say thank you again to our sister doctor out of Florida, who is making waves and has ambitions to deepen the engagement between Jamaica and the diaspora from the highest seat of, I would say, government in that area. And those who are continuing to carry the torch for change and for freedom and for a better life. Thank you very much. Stay engaged. And whatever it is we can do or say from this platform to assist the process, as Lowell said when he started, feedback. Check us out on the different social media platforms where we are. And we're trying to be everywhere, thanks to the producer's own technical skill. Let us hear from you so we know if we are having the desired impact. And if not, we can do things better. Thank you, Mr. Engineer. You're carrying everything on your own this morning. And to Pastor Percy, wherever you are, you have a great day. Have a great day, everyone.
Yeah, man. Well, God bless you. Walk good. Love each other. Be your brother's keeper. Blessings.
All right.